Yeah. August 25th edition, SMT podcast. What up, B? What up?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Friday is here, folks. You know it when you hear the music. You got the SMT on the mic for the night. Might have some panel members today. I know I got B right now. We'll see who else shows up. Or friends that stop by to say hello and, you know, give their 2 cents on some telco stuff. That's what we do here. We do telco stuff, right, B?
Absolutely, man. It's been a great week. Hope you had a great week, Sneed. I hope everybody listening out there has had an outstanding week. There's been a lot of great things that have been happening. So, yeah, man. Hope everybody's doing well.
Yeah, man. No complaints, man. Life is good. We here. It's Friday. There's good telco stuff going on. Some interesting things. Some stuff that probably impacts consumers directly. Some company type stuff. Some corporate based stuff. We got a lot to cover, man. It was a busy week. Apparently, there's a new company trying to get involved with the Dish 800 megahertz with T-Mobile thing. So that's going to get kind of messy if that happens. We'll discuss that. Verizon made some changes to their 5G home internet. Pricing that we knew was coming. You know, and then some terms and some network stuff with it. So we'll talk about that. Cricket news, not typically something we cover here on the podcast, but worthy. And we'll cover that. And then we got to talk about T-Mobile and the job cuts. I mean, what a massive set of layoffs that are coming. So we'll discuss that. T-Mobile also has some fixed wireless access stuff going on. They got a new gateway, right, with some hardware that could make the service better, maybe. We shall see. But we'll discuss the possibilities there. And I think that's probably good. The shows get really long after you get past like 4 or 5 topics, man. And I know some people have a hard time. Like, so let me give you guys some insight on how like this YouTube thing works. There's a group of people out there who want to consume content. 5 minutes or 5 hours, they don't care. You know, they'll watch part of it, watch the rest of it later, come back to it, you know, all that sort of stuff. They use the tools within YouTube that allow them to do it. And then there's some people who want little bits and pieces, and if they see something is longer than 10 minutes, not happening. You know, they don't even click on it. They're like, no way I'm clicking on something that's 3 hours, even though they could watch and listen for 2 minutes or 20 minutes. They're like, it's 3 hours or 2 hours or an hour. I want nothing to do with it. It's crazy, but that's the way the viewer thinks, I guess, on YouTube. Most of you guys that are here listening to the podcast and in the live chat, you guys watch all my content. You consume, you know, whether it's long form, short form, shorts, it doesn't matter. You're all about the content and supporting your creators. So, you know, you guys are a little bit different. So, let's say some hellos, though. Jeremy is here. My brother David in the house. Rage and Dusty also in the house. Anubis, maybe? What's going on? My brother MS is in the house. Shout out to Maine. What up, MS? My brother Will is here. Good to see you, man. Busy schedule. I know it's hard for you to make it in sometimes. South Joe in the house. Antonio, what up? Trex is here. Yeah, glad you guys could stop by tonight. Let's see. We got Jordan. We got Zero Cool up. Scallops on deck. TJ is here. Big Joe, what up, buddy? Dennis with 1 N, not to be confused with dentist. You know, we all know the dental. What up, Trex? How you doing? Omar's here. Cinder. What up, Cinder? Hey, man. Getting a new phone in September. Sounds like an iPhone opportunity, right? Matt's here. Super 10. If I'm not doing anything, I'll watch. If I'm busy but can listen, I'll do that. Yeah, I hear you, man. That's what we do. All right, man. Let's get this music off. Enough of the intros. B, you ready for this, bro?
Let's go, man.
All right, let's do it. Just making sure. All right, so Dish. Dish, Dish, Dish. What is happening in the world of Dish? All right, so there is a company that is interested in the T-Mobile, prior to T-Mobile, it was Sprint, 800 megahertz spectrum. Interesting development. So the company known as Burns and McDonnell, B&M, is a large engineering consulting firm seeking permission to participate in the court proceeding where Dish is asking for more time to buy T-Mobile's 800 megahertz spectrum licenses. Dish filed for an extension with the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia earlier this month. So the reason why Dish is all up in this is because this is part of the T-Mobile and Sprint merger, in which T-Mobile had concessions that they had to that they're obliged to, and part of it was giving up this spectrum to Dish if they wanted to buy it. Now, there's a set price for it. It's $3.5 billion. Dish wants it. They're willing to pay for it, but they need more time. And they actually specifically asked for 10 months, and they're cash strapped. They've spent most of their money to build out the network up to this point. They still don't really have an executed retail strategy. Executives have been coming and going from the company, and they're trying to build this network, this national network, on a shoestring budget and all these other factors. They've had setbacks and hacks and all these other things, and it's just been really hard for them, and trying to be a carrier organically from scratch. It's basically an impossible task. How difficult is it when you've got companies that have been doing this for 20, 25, 30 years, and even they have, difficulties in operations and so on. But the company is petitioning that they want to participate in the proceedings for the spectrum. Now, the thing is, the spectrum, a company owning the spectrum that doesn't actually have a network like this company B&M, they're acting like a holdings company. They basically want to be a landlord, I think, is what it boils down to. They don't want to build a network. They're not like your next regional carrier or anything like that. But what I think they want to do is they want to be able to just kind of own it and then lease it to somebody who might want it, and then it becomes basically an asset for them to try to generate revenue. I don't like this because it makes things muddier. B, give me your take on this news, what you think it could mean for Dish, and how do you think, that it should be proceeding with respect to an entrant trying to get in on the spectrum?
Well, if the entrant has the money, then they have the right to bid. It's pretty simple. It's not the first time a non-carrier, a non-telecommunications company has bid on spectrum. You have schools who bid on spectrum all the time. So they're well within their right. If they have the funds and they've submitted the paperwork and everything checks out, they have the right to do what they're doing. This is par for the course. This is how the industry goes. I mean, you bid on the spectrum, and if you win, then you get the licenses are awarded to you. Nobody's going to hand Dish anything, just like nobody hands anybody anything. You have to bid for it. So it's par for the course. It is what it is, Sneed. This is why it's good to kind of have your finances in order, or at least be able to have your balance sheet be good enough to be able to get access to capital via loans and things of that nature, because you have to be able to pounce on these, spectrum holdings when they're available. But Dish said they're interested. They had a deal. Now they need more time and all this other jazz. It's like, okay, well, you open up the likelihood for another player to get involved, and that's what happened. Nobody owes Dish anything, so I have no problem with this. This is how almost every spectrum auction is. So to each his own.
Well,
It is what it is.
let's rewind a little bit. So this isn't really an auction, right? So Dish is the what do we call them? The first to write, right? So this is like they get the first dibs at this. It's in the construction of the deal. Now, the only way I feel like this company should be involved is if Dish says we don't want it anymore, right? Then it becomes public domain. Like, it can be sold to anyone. I mean, hell, T-Mobile should be able to buy it from themselves. right? I mean, or it's just theirs. They own it, right? Dish pays the $72 million penalty, and then it's basically T-Mobile's. And if T-Mobile doesn't want to use it, they can sell it, to this company or whatever. And to be honest with you, man, I don't know how much this spectrum is really worth. Is it worth 3.5 billion in your opinion?
No,
What's it worth? Can you give it a monetary value?
a billion, maybe. Just a flat billion. Three? No.
It's 800 megahertz, so it's low band. It's got some reach. You still think just a billion, huh?
Yeah, a billion, maybe a billion and a half. But I mean, there are not very many carriers, at least in America, that are using the 800 megahertz frequency in their 5G portfolios. I mean, maybe in 3G. Well, I take that back. Because Verizon is using 850. I think AT&T is as well. So I take that back. But man, I don't know. At the end of the day, to Dish, it's worth something because they need low band. So I understand why they're trying their best to obtain it, but they don't have the assets. So I mean, if another entity is being allowed to get into the race for this spectrum, then so be it. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't think anybody should feel bad for Dish or anything like that. That's simply not the case. I thought you brought up a good point. You said you gotta have your money right before you go to war. You know what I'm saying? That's what came to mind. What do you think, B? Is that a
Yeah,
proper assessment? Gotta,
yeah,
line up your bullets and get ready for this.
yeah. You gotta have your money. You gotta have your portfolio ready. And unfortunately, this is just having a hard time right now. And it just is what it is. This is why I can't see this being around much longer in their current form. It almost seems like a futile attempt at this point for them to be that fourth carrier. I never really thought that they had a chance, but I mean, I, I don't know everything. I've been wrong before, so maybe something happens that's you know extraordinary that allows them to be able to kind of get a leg in, but I just don't see it, Sneed. I just don't see it.
So the outcome of this, you think Dish gets granted that extension, ends up paying for it, and things work out for them, or do you think this gets messy and ends up getting purchased outright by some other random company? What do you think is the most likely
To be
outcome?
to be honest with you, man, I don't have a clue. I mean, you just never know with the FCC and all that. I mean, you just never know. I don't know. This FCC is hard to predict. They're kind of all over the place, and you just don't know what they're going to fight and what they're going to, let go. You just don't know. So, I don't have an answer for you, Sneed. I really don't know what's going to happen. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I think the outcome is I think they end up coming up with the money somehow, some way. The Dish always seems to find a way to just get it in at the last second, like at the buzzer, and it just keeps them afloat. It just keeps their head above water, and it feels like they're always in survival mode. It never seems like they're out ahead. So maybe they find a way to continue to float on, and I think that's possible. I think it's the most likely outcome. This company's on the outside looking in. I'm not sure how anybody within the industry and these regulatory bodies feels about that. We've seen the mess with churches and schools with N41 and T-Mobile and WCO. It's a mess. I'm really not liking that climate of things. You know what I'm saying, B? I don't
Yeah.
I don't like spectrum in the hands of companies that don't own radios. Do you get what I'm saying?
I agree. It's um, it's futile. But hey, we'll see what happens. Um, we'll see what happens. Like I said,
Right.
I definitely misspoke. There are companies that are using the 800 megahertz frequency, so it is valuable. Um, I think 3 billion is a little bit much, but at the same time, it is a valuable swath of spectrum. So I can see why they'd want to fight for it. And if they're able to come up with the money, then good for them. If not, then if other players get involved, then so be it.
All right, good stuff, B. Let's pivot. AT&T's Cricket prepaid brand offers multi-month discounts. You know what this reminds me of, B?
What's that?
Our partner, Mint Mobile. You guys know the green fox. You know the green fox. He could save you money. You guys know what time it is. Check out this pricing right here. All right, they're still running the deflation promo if you use our promo code mintmobile.com/Sneed. Our partner can help you save ducats. And switching is easy. They'll send you out a SIM card super fast. You can activate on eSIM, all the above. It's a great way to save money, folks. Take advantage of their offers. Use our code mintmobile.com/Sneed. You guys like how I did that, bro?
Oh,
You
it
know?
was well done, masterfully done. You
Yeah.
are starting to become an expert at that, man.
I'm a kind of sewer, as they say.
Yeah,
All
man.
right.
Yeah, man.
All right, because that's the first thing I thought about, man. When I thought about the multi-month pricing or whatever, I thought of Mint, and kind of how they put things together in a package, you know?
Yeah.
All right, so just in time for back-to-school prospects, AT&T's prepaid Cricket brand offering new multi-month discounts. Let's check out the structure. Be $300 a year or $30 per month on a single line when they pay in advance. This compares to Cricket's regularly priced $55 per month unlimited plan. So they're giving you a pretty sizable chunk discount if you're willing to purchase multiple months in advance. It includes talk and text unlimited for Mexico and Canada. It says here that the plans are being offered in 3, 6, and 12-month installments, savings ranging from $45 on the lowest plan to $300 on the 12-month plan, which costs $360 in advance. Okay, B, so here's the situation, right? I don't know how big the market is, like what percentage of the consumer base is prepaid and is willing to pay for multiple months at a time. Like if there's 50 million prepaid subscribers within the industry that are available, because prepaid's always basically a free agent, right? They can just discontinue service and just move on, right? So that part's the easy part. But like, how many people want to pay 3 months ahead for service, 6 or 12? So I look at this and I'm like, okay, so Mint does this and that's how they save people money. Do you think that Cricket can get some traction with this, or do you think this is kind of like fishing in an empty well?
Well, I definitely think it's innovative. I definitely think it's something that not a whole lot of people are doing as far as the length of time. I'm not sure how many prepaid customers are going to be willing to make that much of an investment all at one time. But I mean, we'll see. AT&T's had some success the last few quarters as far as their sales and whatnot. So I mean, maybe they think they got the juice. I don't know. Um, seems a little bit far fetched in my opinion. It sounds very, kind of quasi postpaidish. But hey, I don't know. It definitely is innovative. Nobody else is doing this. So
All right, so I have no problem paying for cell service for multiple months, right? I think for some people, what it boils down to is, do you have a steady income, a very predictable job, where you're not worried about your next check and those types of things. You have savings, not a whole lot of debt. When you feel stable financially, you can purchase 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months of service, right? Because you're not in fear of anything. So that's usually when people, make bad decisions, is when there's fear or lack involved. And I think that's what some folks, and I'm just saying some, not all, some folks in the prepaid space are looking to save money, but are only looking to do it 1 month at a time. And most people in general know that cellular service is typically 1 month at a time, so that's why I feel like maybe that's the thought process here. They're trying to tap into a customer segment they haven't been in. Moose, maybe you can chime in. We got a Moose sighting, folks. Cha cha. Kick the music, Moose.
Yes. So what was the question, dog? What was the question?
Cricket has introduced multi-month packages with discounts. I was describing how, it's basically the Mint Mobile model.
Right.
And I'm looking at it as possibly they're just playing this as an untapped consumer segment that might exist for them. But I'm not sure how many customers are in that pool? Like, if there's and I just use an arbitrary number. I'm not saying that this is the actual number, but let's say there's 50 million prepaid customers in a pool of customers. How many of those are willing and able to do a 3-month, 6-month, or a 12-month pay ahead, right?
Prepay.
Yes.
Yeah. This is not new though, Chacha. They do AT&T prepaid does the same thing where for $300 prepaid, right? You get a plan for 6 months or no, 12 months, a full year. 300
They do
bucks.
have an option. That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that it's actually really good that the prepaid. Well, here's the other thing that I was thinking about it because I was listening to like the first, I don't know, 2 minutes of this conversation. This might be a play where AT&T needs money because the same way that American Airlines did this exact same thing where they, you could buy I forgot what it's called, but it's basically like an unlimited airfare pass. You paid back in the 90s or 80s like $500,000 one shot prepaid, and you get unlimited flights for the rest of your life, right?
Damn.
So, but the reason why they needed to do that was because they were desperate for money.
Oh, so it was an attempt to garner some extra revenues?
To get revenues immediately
Mm,
versus over the course of 12 months.
gotcha.
Yeah.
And fighting for 12 months, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my only concern was how big is the consumer segment. That was all I could think of, is how many people are willing to sign up for that structure. I got EM Tech in the house. EM, what's going on, sir?
Yo, what's up?
Welcome to the panel, man. Have you been in long enough to kind of get in on this segment?
Yeah. I've always had a pretty strong opinion on these like bulk plans, and my opinion rests in I think that they're a really good option for the customer, and the customers who are willing to do it are gonna do it, and they're not gonna have a problem with pricing. AT&T's been very successful with this type of pricing structure for a long time, so gets a thumbs up from me. I wish more companies would do stuff like this.
Yeah, and there's definitely a financial reward to it, collecting all that money up front, and then they just ride the network until that last month expires. Is it with respect to the type of customer? Because I know you've worked within some of those channels back in the day. Is there something that you could say maybe to the attention that these types of plans gets to? You think the problem is people don't know about it, or do the people just don't really find themselves like polarized to it?
Well, I mean, the majority of your average customer is probably going to be on postpaid. But the diehard prepaid fans found a lot of attraction to like I forget what AT&T used to do. 12 months for you got like 4 gigs a month or 8 gigs a month or something. And at the time, it was easily the best value in prepaid, and the people who were willing to front that money would do it. And you know, they were traditionally low usage customers, right? People who didn't want to deal with the hassle of a phone bill, didn't want to deal with the hassle of equipment. They've got older-ish phones or bought their phones outright, and that type of pricing model for them was just really attractive. They just like not worrying about the bill. But again, it's a very niche customer base. But the people who like it really like it. So
As long as there is a discount associated with the package, people I think will always look at it. I just don't see the targeted marketing or the push to it. It just doesn't seem like any carrier is really driving behind it and saying, hey, consumer, our hands are up in the air. We're doing commercials, we're doing advertisements, and really pushing the issue. It just doesn't seem like it makes its way into the forefront of what the brands do.
Let me ask you
I
this,
don't.
John.
Yeah,
Let me
go
ask
ahead.
you, who do you think? Let me restructure this question. Do you think that a lot of people will be able to take advantage of this? Because right now, people have less than $1,000
In savings, right?
Not even in savings, just spending cash, man.
Yeah, most
All
people
on
don't
credit
have
cards.
savings. Yeah, so it's like, I mean, The savvy customer can work it out, can figure it out, and wants to do it. And then there's some people, like I said, Moose, I don't think they think beyond the month. They don't think beyond the week, and I think that customer is more sensitive and just simply can't give $360 to a carrier off rip. Although it would be advantageous for them to do so because they would save so much money, they can't budget it, or they're choosing not to budget it because they need the flexibility with their cash. And we're talking about prepaid customers here, right? So when people go to prepaid, there are only two types of people in prepaid. Those that either have bad credit or don't want their credit involved, or those that are looking to save a buck, right? They typically don't need to finance phones. They don't need trade-in deals, right? They'll get an entry-level budget-minded phone that's acceptable and works fine, but it's not a flagship. The expectations are different. You know what I'm saying, Moose?
We got a lot of those sneaky links. You know what I'm saying, Chacha?
What is it?
We got a lot of sneaky links. The side hose and the
Oh,
pimp.
yeah. Then you got some of that too. Facts. Yeah.
You have a lot of sneaky activity in prepaid land. That's why a
Yeah.
lot of the people's names and last names are all,
Tony Stark, Steve Rogers, Thor
Yeah.
Odinson. Yeah.
Exactly, dog. Exactly.
Freaking, you look at the accounts and it's Mickey Mouse and Roger Rabbit and such. Hell, one time I signed up as Paula Abdul on Cricket, bro. But the problem is now they start requiring ID to check your account status and stuff. So it's like, I can't produce an ID that says Roger Rabbit. All right, good stuff. That's a good one. All right, guys, things are about to possibly get a little contentious. They might. You never know.
100%. Let's do it.
Oh, God. Moose is ready. All right. Verizon has officially raised pricing on their 5G home internet service. All right. So this actually happened August 23rd. And I just want to say this, folks. One of the things that I agree with, and I think it was, I don't know if it was Skiatis or if it was Hans himself. I don't remember. It might have been Skiatis. It might have been Milady. I don't remember, man. But they said that when a service is good, people will pay for it, right? They don't leave, they don't churn, and you don't give discounts on good service. I totally get that. That makes a lot of sense to me. As someone who is part of a family business, and when you put your blood, sweat, and tears into something and you know it's good and the customers respond and it's good, it's true. You should not have to discount something that is good and commands the value and the pricing. The price increase for Verizon's 5G home internet, I'm perfectly fine with, and here's why. If the service continues to improve, if the experience continues to be A grade, gets better with time, more reliable, more enjoyable, allows and facilitates someone to succeed in education and work from home and business and all those things, if it brings value to their life, a 20, 30% price increase, as long as it's warranted, all those things are in place, I'm okay with. So they raised the pricing from $25 a month if you bundle with wireless to $35 a month if you bundle with wireless. So you went from 25 to 35. My inclination is that the $25 per month was an introductory price to get people in the door to know of their service. They wanted to get traction. They wanted people to see and hear the buzz. It all made sense. Going up from 25 to 35 is not going to make or break anyone, because $35 for home internet service is an absolutely fine price point. So to me, no big deal that they raised that price and by that much. No big deal. The premium option goes from 35 to 45. So that one also goes up $10. Again, if the service is getting better, if the experience is A grade, going from 35 to 45 and getting a very good internet experience is no problem to me. I don't have a problem with it. Now, there's some additional things here. Verizon is adding NFL Sunday Ticket if you sign up for the premium option, the $45 unlimited plus plan. You can have that, or you can get a discount, I think a $200 discount on a Chromebook. The regular 5G home also qualifies for the discount on the Chromebook. The router that they're sending you is going to be better than the last one. The router gateway will be improved, better antenna gain, better Wi-Fi. It's going to be tri-band with Wi-Fi 6, 6E, and all that good stuff. There are improvements to the service within this price increase. I don't have a problem with it. There's a 2-year price guarantee on the regular plan, and on the plus plan, there's a 3-year price guarantee. So I just gave you guys all the facts. There is one thing, folks, that we have to discuss, and that is Verizon changed the terms on 2 aspects. The entry-level 5G home is now being throttled on video resolution playback to 1080p. They're slowing down the speed on both plans. The upsell is going to be you have to have the plus plan, which is the $45 a month with the wireless. You've got to get that plan to get 4K video stream. So the entry level gets you 1080p video stream. The upper plan gets you the 4K video stream. And they slowed down and throttled the speeds a little bit for the entry level plan, and then the new one, the top tier plan gets the faster speeds. But even that's slower than it used to be. So we've got speeds coming down, we've got prices going up, and then we've got a video resolution throttle on the entry level plan. Let all that kind of soak in. Do you guys want me to give my take first, or does anybody on the panel want to go first? Because I got my opinions on this. I'll start with EM.
Oh no, you can go ahead. I want to hear what your take is first.
Okay, here's my take. Raising the prices but giving people good home internet, I'm okay with it. The price increases aren't that bad. It's a good price for home internet. My problem is when I'm looking at the value if you don't have the wireless. The top tier plan is $80 a month with autopay at $70, and the entry level plan is $60 and it's $50 with autopay. That's a little pricey for fixed wireless access that's going to be competing with much faster cable, right? So I think that's where kind of the disconnect can be in a way. But my real issue is this, EM. 1080p restriction on the entry level plan is a damn problem. That is absurd in 2023. Verizon is basically making the same mobility restriction for video playback that they did on their mobile plans. Remember 720p on LTE. And you got to pay an additional $10 to go above 720p on mobile, right? To go 1080p or 4K or whatever. This is the same playbook. However, this is not a 5 or 6-inch display on a phone. This is for 60, 70, 80-inch TVs in which people have streaming applications in which there is 4K content by default on the apps, like Disney Plus, like HBO Max, whatever. All these apps have 4K content, Netflix, and apparently paying $60 a month for their entry-level plan if you don't have wireless and if you don't autopay doesn't get you 4K. It'll get you 4K on every other provider in the country, but not Verizon. So my take is this is absurd. It's an industry anomaly. It's ridiculous, in my opinion, unacceptable. This is chicanery of the highest order, blasphemous for the consumer. This is bullshit. 1080p video restriction on home internet is bullshit. So out of all the things Verizon could have done, this is the one thing they should not have done. And the irony of it is they raised pricing. They should have left it the same terms as the other plan. You got people paying more Give them what they're paying for. But clearly what I think this is, EM, is it's an upsell. They don't really want people on the entry plan. They want them taking the 4K plan, the plus plan with the faster speeds. They're monetizing the network. I get it. But 1080p, the simple fact that this plan exists says a lot about Verizon's thinking process, really. This is bullshit. Nobody should buy this plan. And in my opinion, after your 2 or 3 year price lock is over on the old plans, you're not grandfathered. They're going to put you on the new restrictions in 2-3 years. After it's up, you should switch to a new provider, just in principle. And I'm a guy who has been promoting and pushing people to consider the Verizon Home Internet. I cannot recommend this plan. I can only recommend the Plus plan. No way, no how should anybody be restricted to 1080p on their home ISP. That is bullshit. Have at it.
No, I mean, I agree. I don't understand what their infatuation is with throttling video. I mean, I've been very vocal about that on this podcast for the last like 2-3 years about the issues that I have with them throttling video. It to me it's a thing that most people probably don't care about, but the people who do care about it really care about it. And it's frustrating. It really is. But I can kind of understand where they're coming from with the price changes and the plan changes, because for the longest time, the only difference between the two plans was if you happen to live in an area where you could get millimeter wave service, you could pay an extra $10 a month and get up to a gig, which is by all means the best value in home ISP, I think, in the industry, period, right?
EM, I would gladly trade the $200 discount on the Chromebook to get 4K video on this plan.
No, I'm sure, and I'm sure a lot of people.
There's people that would make a lot of negotiations to get that. You know what I'm saying?
But I think the root of the problem was the fact that they didn't diversify the plans enough to begin with, and now this reactionary step, they went too far. I don't see a problem with them capping it at 100 megs, give you the 4K. I understand capping the video streaming on the LTE product because that's limited to what, like 50 by 5. But this just seems like an overreach, in my opinion. And it's just another reason to try and upsell customers, which is kind of leaves me with a salty taste in my mouth. So I'm with you.
That's my only problem with it. The whole shebang. That was it, man. Let me get Moose in here.
All right, I'm about to go off. I'm about to go on record. This is definitely going to be controversial, ladies and gentlemen. And I want you to hear me very, very carefully. This, to me, signals two things. Number one, regardless of 160 megahertz of C-band, Verizon does not have enough spectrum. Number one. Number two, AT&T still has the best QCI management in the business. Because they will never, they would never do this on a home internet product. What they would do instead is you're going to be throttled to QCI 9 infinitely, right? And then QCI 8 would be another plan for an X amount of period of time or whatever, or QCI 7, but they wouldn't be throttling your video management. So that's why I say that point number one is very controversial. Point number one is extremely controversial because regardless of 160 megahertz, Verizon can't compete with T-Mobile and AT&T. God,
what? Wait, get the fuck out of here, man. Wait a damn minute. What?
What
okay,
are you saying right now?
I tried. Listen, man. Hey, yo, I tried to be quiet. Now wait a damn minute. I know you did try. What do you mean, man?
Brother, you got to slow your roll there. That was
you got to chill, man.
Moose,
That's
you
what
done
I told
started a
you.
riot on the
What did I
podcast.
tell you?
I said I won't go. I said I won't go yell tonight. I said I won't go yell, man. I'm sorry. Go
I
ahead.
told
Continue.
you it was gonna be
Continue. Go ahead.
controversial. I told you from the beginning, boy. I told you. I gave you a warning. I gave you a heads up. A soliloquy just like Stephen A. I told you from the beginning I was going to be controversial because this move directly contradicts what they are doing. 160 megahertz is a ridiculous amount of spectrum. We are seeing 2,000 on the down in some areas.
Facts.
These are legit facts, okay, that I'm about to spit out, dog. I'm telling you right now. We are seeing guaranteed speeds of 700 on the min. Okay?
You do know we're in America, right? You do know we're in America, right, Moose?
We are in the land
There
of the free,
isn't.
my dog. We're in the land of the
There
free.
isn't. There is not a piece of chicken big enough that America has not seen and said, I can eat that plus another piece. We're talking about the consumption capital of the world, Craig. It doesn't matter if we had it doesn't matter if America had 4,000 gigawatt or whatever. America will find a way to consume it. All this is trying to is a company trying to manage its network, knowing that people would rather have an ecosystem that's unlimited. So that pretty much what they're saying is, I don't want to manage my own usage. I want my carrier to do it for me. And so Verizon has chosen to manage their network this way. And that's fine. That's their choice. But I can't sit here and let somebody tell me that a company, AT&T, that didn't even want to get in this game, they're being forced to get in the home internet via fixed wireless access, that all of a sudden Verizon can't compete with the company that doesn't even want to do this. Like, come on, Moose. Like, I mean, what are we talking about right now? We're talking about a company who is, to use Sneed's, terminology, throttling video, versus the other major competitor being T-Mobile, which doesn't have QoS, which doesn't have QCI. I would rather be with the company that has a QoS, that has a QCI for fixed wireless access, even if they're going to throttle on their basic plan. I would rather have that particular carrier be my carrier of choice because they have a dedicated QoS and a dedicated QCI. What is the other company doing? They have all the spectrum and they're doing so great and they're letting people get 4K and they're having problems already. And it hasn't even been 5 years that they've been offering that product. So, I mean, to me, it just seems like Verizon sees the writing on the wall and they know that they're in America and they know that people will consume until their heart's content and then will consume some more because it's unlimited. So people will go to sleep while a video is playing and it will consume and consume and consume. So with that being said, it seems to me like since the resource spectrum is finite, it's not infinite, you have to manage it because they spent $53 billion on the spectrum that they have. It's actually an average of 161.
Can I push back a little bit? Can I push back a little bit?
Of course you can.
Okay.
Of course you can. Yes, sir.
So here's my angle. I don't think this is about capacity, and I'm going to tell you why. The reason I don't think it's about capacity is because the plan's still unlimited. Okay, so that's my first thing. The second thing is they were running no video resolution throttling when they had 60 megahertz of C-band. They have doubled or tripled that bandwidth in the last 2-3 weeks. And now they're doing this. This is monetization. This is not about network capacity, in my opinion. So I disagree with Moose in that respect, and I disagree with you in that respect. I don't think it's really about network management. I think it's about upsell because they're willing to give it to you. You just have to pay the extra money.
Premium upsell.
Of course.
It's the premium
Of course
upsell.
It's about upsell, but it's also about network management. You have to do both because at the end of the day, the usage of today is not going to be the usage of tomorrow. We all know usage increases year over year. And it's not by like 5%. It's about like 20+% every year. Right. Yeah. So like carriers have to do both. They have to monetize the network because all three of them are in debt. So that you have to manage your spectrum assets. You have to manage your network. And you also have to get increased revenues because, usage is going to go up. Again, this is America. Usage doesn't stay the same. It doesn't go down. It only goes up. So I don't understand why it's such a like breaking news that you see a carrier trying to manage this network and trying to monetize this network because it's not
No,
exclusive.
the
It's not either or. It's
monetization
both.
the monetization, it's totally justified. You're not gonna get an argument or any pushback in that respect. I'm just looking at this plan, right, with its structure. The only real flaw is the fact that you've got a video resolution throttle that doesn't exist anywhere else in the industry. And there are other home ISPs who have QoSs and QCIs, B, and they don't do this.
And
No
who would that
company
be?
does this. This is bullshit.
Well, who would that be? Who has QCIs and QoSs on this particular product and isn't doing like
Oh,
who
you're
are you
saying
talking
on
about?
fixed
You
wireless
have to be
you're talking
talking.
about fixed wireless access? I'm just
Yes,
talking
sir.
about
Because
home
you have to.
ISPs in general.
Well, I mean, home ISPs generally you're talking about coax or you're talking about fiber.
Right.
The source is infinite. It's not finite like spectrum. So there's a little bit of a difference. When you're talking about fixed wireless access, you have to do more capacity and
But
network
B, they're
management
coming in
because
they're
because
coming into but B, they're coming into this saying we're gonna compete against these guys, but they're basically saying that they can't right now. That's what they're
well
saying with
that's
this
not
move, is we can't if you're telling me it's about network, which I don't agree, it's not about network, it's about upsell. They know they can provide 4K,
it's about
but they
it's
wanna
about both,
monetize
Sneed.
it.
Well, of
No,
course
man,
they
not
want to
this move.
monetize it, but it's
Not this
it's
move.
also about
This
both
move is not about
because
both.
again,
This move is only about
yes, it is.
monetization.
You cannot if you're
B,
managing a
they were
network,
running
you can't
4K
you
before they had all the C-band on air. How are you gonna tell me that?
because you can't manage a network for today. You have to manage it 3 to 5 years in advance. And we just
But they're
admitted all
but they're
of like
getting mo
you and I
but
just
there's more
you and I
spectrum
just
to
admitted
run, B.
from where, Sneed? Like the next
You
spectrum
still have a
auction is
you
going to
still
mean
have
more.
no.
It's going to mean more. Go ahead. Go
You've
ahead.
got
Go ahead. Go ahead.
so you've got densification, you've got small cells. Verizon embraces the grind, bro. Let's keep it real. 10 gig fiber circuits, more small cells, millimeter wave. They're not bashful to upgrade the network. That's why I think the customer doesn't mind paying when the stuff is worth paying for. Verizon has a premium customer, don't they?
Absolutely.
Why are you doing this to them? This is bullshit. That's like me
I
selling
just told you why,
sesame
Sneed.
bread at the bakery, but not putting sesame on it. That's bullshit.
That's not true, man. That's not true. You're just talking about a company that's trying to do both things: monetize
Hold on.
and
Well,
control and manage their network.
let me get in here. I think the problem is that, and I understand where Sneed's coming from, is that this looks like a rug pull, to the customer, right? Like, not only are they increasing the price, but they're reducing the features. If I were Verizon, I would have said, let me introduce a similarly priced, low cost, we'll call it low cost plan that has the same speed restriction, still offer the other plans that you had before.
Hold on, EM. They brought
And
the
then,
speeds down. That's for the network, not the video resolution.
well, that's
The
what I'm
video
I
saying
mean,
though.
isn't
resolution,
wouldn't
the difference is between 8 megabits per second or about 15 megabits or 20 megabits per second. Come on, man.
Yeah,
so
but what
would
I'm
you
saying
rather have?
is, go
Go
ahead,
ahead.
B.
Go ahead. Go ahead, EM. Go ahead.
Go ahead,
No,
Aaron.
if you're gonna make a move like this, right? You do it like every other ISP does. You introduce it as whatever they call an essentials plan or an economy plan or a whatever, and it comes in and it may undercut the price of your other options. But if you're gonna raise the prices of everything, sure, this is a entry level replacement for the price point, but you still have the other options available to you. It to the customer, the way that they did this, it looks like what they could get before was better than what they can get now, not a
Oh,
shift
I see what you're
in
saying.
product offering, if that makes
Gotcha.
sense.
Yeah. But to
It,
me, EM, I have a new name for this plan. I'm not gonna call it the 5G home. I'm gonna call it the Verizon hotspot plan. This is like a glorified hotspot. It's just a giant hotspot to me. In fact, I wouldn't be willing to pay $35 a month for this. To me, it's worth $19.99. At 1080p, it's the same as a hotspot. No, thank you.
So can I say something really quickly, Chacha?
Mm-hmm.
So you said something that I don't agree fully, and I'll tell you what I mean. The home internet product is not a premium offering from Verizon. What do I mean by that?
But Moose, look at the price point.
Hold on,
The
hold on, hold on.
advertised pricing is $60 and $80.
I'm talking about a standalone product, not bundled. Okay,
Yes,
let's
so am
look at it
I.
from that.
They're
Look at it
selling
from
it
right
for
there.
$60 and $80 with no auto pay discount and with no bundle. It's 60
There,
and 80.
there is nothing premium about a service that I could get standalone. Keep in mind what I'm about to say, because we have a problem listening to my words sometimes. When you take something that is a standalone product and you're competing, and your competitors are home ISPs like cable, like
Yes.
fiber,
Mhm.
okay? You are competing against a price point of a standalone ISP product, correct? Okay. Spectrum is $49.99 for the first year. There is no introductory pricing as a standalone. I'm keeping my words very carefully
What's
here.
their everyday price, Moose?
The everyday price without the promotion is $69.99. But again, if you're a brand new customer to Spectrum, $49.99. If I'm a brand new customer to Verizon, I'm paying how much? 60?
Mhm.
60 without auto pay. So
Mhm.
right there, my choice would be to go with Spectrum as a brand new customer to both. I wouldn't even think about fixed wireless. I wouldn't even think about T-Mobile. But I'll tell you this, to me, by having a limitation on the service, because again, why did Verizon limit to 1080p video? Because they had limitations on the capacity on the network. Why are they limiting? Why the same methodology and the same argument has to be applied for the home internet? The
Moose.
reason, because if think about it like this, Chacha, if they could monetize on speed, they would, but they can't because they can't guarantee the speed.
Yeah, yeah. Facts.
That's why.
Yes.
So they are competing against the situation that they can, which is video management.
You know what sucks, Moose? This absolutely sucks, but I have
Isn't
to
that what
call
I
a
said?
spade a
But
spade.
isn't that what I said?
Sure. I mean, not all parts of what you were saying are wrong, B. I don't think many of us are disagreeing with most of what you said, but I think this has to be said because, I gotta be honest and transparent about things. And it sucks to have to say this, but god damn, bro, Dennis was right. Dennis was freaking right, bro. He said that fixed wireless access is and was going to be an inferior product. And this is basically the admission of it. And I held out and I waited and I said, hold on, wait, let's see the finished product. Let's see how this goes. Let's let it all play out. As of right now, Dennis is right
But
because this
nobody,
is
I don't know
admission.
very many people who disagreed. Like, who disagreed with that though? Like, everybody knew that fiber to the
My
prem was
thought
always going to
process,
be the gold standard.
sure, sure, but my thought process was fixed wireless access could legitimately replace fiber or cable and be
No.
good enough. Not doesn't
I
have
mean,
to be better. It
in
was
many
never going to be
places,
better.
that's still the case though, Sneed, because fiber doesn't exist everywhere. So I mean, like, I don't think we're going to be to a place, not at least not within the next 10 to 15 years, where fiber is going to be everywhere, all 50 states, everywhere.
So
So
in
for many
DSL
areas of
territory
the
B, this
country,
is going to be the winner, right?
yeah, pretty much. I mean, in
Sure.
most places where fiber doesn't exist, this is the next best option.
Even
So
more than
I mean,
cable?
if we, yeah. So I mean,
Well,
Wow.
so
Okay.
if that weren't the case, then
But
explain.
cable
Someone
doesn't
explain
throttle
why.
video, B.
So someone explained to me why fixed wireless access has been taking the lunch money of big cable for several quarters in a row. If what
But
I'm
this
saying is not
changes
true,
things. But this changes
how
things
does it
because
change?
now
How does
you're
it change
I'm going to
anything?
tell it the reason it changes things is because now they have a $60 plan, right? It's 60 without auto pay and without any wireless discount. Now
Most
it's
customers,
competing at cable. Now it's competing at cable pricing but cable doesn't
Most
throttle
customers are
video.
going to get some kind of discount, though, Sneed. Come on, man. Like,
Maybe,
let's be
maybe, but I still have to look at the
most
listing
likely.
price.
I mean, that's true, but most likely people are going to get the auto pay discount. Big
Okay, so
cable
we'll
has
call
the
it
same
50.
sort of
Let's
product
call it
offerings.
50. Let's call it 50.
Okay, let's call it 50.
$50. That puts it right in the wheelhouse of cable pricing, but cable doesn't throttle video.
Yeah, but cable also has explosive pricing that doesn't stay the same. So I mean, like it's pick your poison, I guess, man. It's
So
whatever it is
it's
that you
gonna be
want.
pick your poison. So
It, it, it's
basically,
it's it, there is no perfect product. You either want the company to manage your net, your network access and your performance, or you want to do it yourself. So I mean, I don't know if you're gonna have an all you can eat type of platform where it's unlimited, which is what customers want, and you know that the resource, which is spectrum, is finite. What are the carriers supposed to do? I mean, this to me, this sounds like more chicken, and I'm like, all right, so. I'm not trying to be a jerk to the consumer because again, I'm a consumer too. But the carriers have to manage their network because if they have to go back every 2 years to the FCC and say we need more spectrum, well, I mean, we know how inefficient the government is at launching out more spectrum. There's only so much to go around. You have to make it last, and when you go back, it costs billions of dollars to acquire it. So why are we mad at the carriers? Both both T-Mobile and Verizon specifically, for trying to manage network usage when we know that people, when given the ability to just consume, will consume unapologetically. I mean, I don't understand why this is such a.
So
I mean, we knew the spectrum was going to be managed. Why are we all of a sudden upset that it's now being managed? I don't get it.
so this is the only thing I'm going to say in terms of the managed part, right? So people's expectations are really the issue here. People have a false sense of reality on what this product actually is supposed to replace or supplement in some cases. Fixed wireless is supposed to be better and the replacement to DSL. However, it will never replace fiber. Guaranteed. Will never replace
Nobody
fiber.
said it.
No,
That
no.
wasn't the
I
goal,
know.
though.
Right. But in only the cases that the consumer needs to save money, will they replace cable with fixed wireless? Because my parents did it. They're loving the AIA. There's no issues.
I disagree. I've had my family, both my parents and my grandparents, on Verizon's fixed wireless for almost 2 years now. No issues. They had mountains of issues with cable. It's not necessarily only a replacement for DSL. It is a replacement for an unreliable provider, regardless of the technology.
Which is what big cable has been for decades. I mean,
exactly.
I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't get this.
I think
I apologize,
where the misconception comes in is that this is going to replace people's home internet everywhere. It was never designed to do that. It's for onesie twosies. It's gonna, 5-6 homes in a neighborhood might decide to switch. But you get to a point where, if you have areas that your local provider is just so ungodly unreliable and everyone's looking for a replacement, that's where you start to see management practices put in place because you have such a high demand for the product, right? But I think that the overall perception of the product has been sort of overstated. It's not what people think it should be. I don't know.
I agree. I mean, at the end of the day,
so
it's
I
not
have
like
realistic expectations, right? It's gonna give people an option beyond the explosive cable pricing. It's also going to be, a better option than DSL. Like there's way for the consumer to win with this, but I'm not going to recommend the entry level plan. I can only recommend the premium plan. I cannot tell someone with a straight face, you should buy the entry level plan and get throttled on video for 1080p. I can't do
and
that
that's fair,
with a
Sneed.
good faith,
And that's fair. And I respect that 100%. I'm certainly not trying to imply that that's the wrong thing to do. I'm with you there. All that I'm trying to say is I don't think it's wrong for carriers to try to manage their network. I mean, you got the other competitor that we've talked ad nauseum about that has no QCI, no QoS, and people complain about that.
So
So you
that's
have
an
the other
interesting
carrier
angle.
that
Let's do that, B. All right, so let's and we've got a decent panel here. We've got a few people, so we can get a bit of a pulse. As far as I know, T-Mobile does not throttle video resolution playback. As far as I know, AT&T Internet Air does not throttle video playback. Both of them, in terms of AT&T and T-Mobile, place the internet traffic at the bottom of the totem pole. Verizon has C-band within a dedicated QCI, their 5G NR QCI 7, right? This, to me, the 1080p piece with the throttle, while the rest of the internet experience is going to be better than the other two competitors, the other two competitors get a video resolution playback advantage in that respect. So to me, I'm looking at the price point. If I'm getting the premium plan at 45, that's the move. It's better than Internet Air, and it's better than the T-Mobile Home Internet. But if I'm paying the 80, I think the other two options offer a better deal because of simply the pricing and what I'm getting for it. All right, so EM, where are you at? Think about the competitors, what they offer, how the network plays out in the experience.
Well, I mean, T-Mobile, so I will commend T-Mobile in their position with the home internet product, where they started from the get-go saying that they were only going to offer qualification for the product if they had excess capacity, right? Like, to me, that is a reasonable way to position the product, but the consumer's experience is not going to be very good. And based off of what I've heard from people who work there, the return rate on that product is insane. So you may have just a bunch of people signing up, but a lot of people aren't sticking with it and keeping it long term. And let's not forget that in areas where T-Mobile can't offer unlimited data to their home internet customers, they hard cap you at some arbitrary amount for the same price. So, and they have their vices, right? Like, they literally hard cap their customers to what is it, like 300 gigs or something? Someone can fact check me on that, right? When you have home internet usage peaking over a terabyte on average now, with streaming and all of these other things, like these internet essentials customers that T-Mobile has, where they probably got lied to by some sales rep at a store or a Costco or whatever, they're going to have a poor experience. Same with the Internet Air, if I remember correctly, and I could be wrong, but there's also an arbitrary data cap on that as well. So
exactly,
they're different. You pick your poison, right? They all have their limitations, and to me, the hard cap on data usage is more of a turnoff than a video streaming cap. Although I still think the video streaming cap is a little ridiculous, but you just got to know what you're buying, right? And that's on the customer to know what they're buying. So I don't know.
that's a very fair assessment. I agree with you. I mean, that's a very fair assessment. I mean, at the end of the day, I understand. There's going to be disdain, but it's the carrier's responsibility to manage the network. People can like it, people cannot. But for many people in this country who have had one option or no option at all, and to finally be given an option that's available, this is going to be great for them. 1080p for people like us, who live in cities and are a little bit more affluent as it pertains to, our education on, IT and things of that nature. Yeah, maybe 1080p doesn't work for us, but for the majority of the country, that's still HD quality content, for people to be able to have access to.
But B,
And it's
do
still
you
at a
see a
very
world?
affordable rate.
But B, do you see a world where it could happen, where somebody switches from a cable ISP, they load the app, and they say, "Wow, this used to be higher definition when I had cable."
Oh,
Can that
absolutely.
happen?
But if they chose the basic plan, then again, to EM's point, people have to know what they're getting. Like, why would you go from
Yeah, but
big
you know
cable,
the
whatever it is
customer and
that
how
you
they
had?
move. You know that's gonna happen, dog.
That's true, and I agree. But the customer kind of has to take accountability for that because again, you chose the base plan. Now, if you want the best experience, then you may want to consider the top tier plan or Perhaps if you want something even better than that, then maybe fiber will be your choice. But fixed wireless access was never meant to replace fiber. There's a reason why, for example, AT&T is still deploying fiber like crazy, and Verizon is still deploying fiber within their island. Like nobody's giving up on fiber. Why is I don't know. Like nobody has in any part of the industry has said this is the new replacement for fiber. This is a way for the telecommunications industry to offer a internet product to as many people as possible and millions more than they did 5 years ago. It's just a way to offer a product at a rate that's extremely affordable versus what Big Cable was offering. Because even if you get the promotional offering from Big Cable, it's going to go up in a year. So I mean,
you know what's crazy, B? I would be willing to take 50 meg down, 10 up, as long as you don't cap my video at 1080p, and I'll.
But I mean, but
would you
EM
take a
just
hard
talked
data
about
cap? Would you take a hard data cap at 300 gigs?
Wait, why?
Exactly.
Why? What
You're
home
going to get
ISP
capped in
does
some
that?
way.
What home ISP does that?
The Internet Essentials plan from T-Mobile.
What plan?
That's their base plan.
The hotspot plan?
That's their base home internet plan. If you don't qualify for an area where you can get unlimited data,
Oh, that's not real home internet, man.
But they offer it as home internet, Sneed. That's
what
I'm
they
saying.
offer.
Yeah,
and
but
this is always what happens.
That's not the real one. Like, so the thing that Verizon does better, I think, is the fact that they won't allow someone to get on a sector that can't really support a true broadband experience. Like,
but T-Mobile will.
300 gigs. But to me, 300 gigs is not a true broadband experience when the average consumer is using 600 or 700 gigs. So if you can't offer at least that much, then the conversation's kind of like different, you know.
But still, that's the problem here is that
to me 300 gigs is a hotspot. Come on, bro.
Well, you said the same thing about the base Verizon plan
because it only does 1080p.
Same exact thing.
That's
so
exactly
that's
what hotspots do.
The same thing, Sneed. It's the same thing, Sneed.
No, the true T-Mobile home internet, the standard one that normal access is going to get, does not have a 1080p restriction or a data cap. That is for people that are special cases that somehow, some way, T-Mobile thinks it's a bright idea to let them use 300 gigs of data just willy-nilly. However, I don't agree with.
But they still
can't offer a whole broadband service. I know, man.
But they do.
I know it's crazy. I know, but they don't cap it at 1080p video. So,
but they cap it at 300 gigs for your total usage. I mean, there's going to be some sort of network. There's going to be. There's going to be some sort of network management.
You're giving them the network. They're saying you got 300 gigs. Do what you want with it. That's not what Verizon is doing. Verizon is saying,
but it's a hard cap.
I understand, but with that hard cap, I still can do what I want with it, which includes 4K video.
But you can't do what you want if the average person is getting up to using a terabyte of data. Like EM just said that. So 300 gigs is not a lot. When people are using a terabyte,
I can still do whatever I want with it.
Not if your average is a terabyte of usage.
What are you going to do when you run out of data halfway through the month, Sneed?
But
you have no internet.
But it's fine. Didn't I know that? Like, you just told me 300 gigs, right?
Well, you just said that customers are going to do that. They're going to choose the basic, cheapest plan, right? You just said that to me. You just used that logic against me, Sneed. At the end of the day,
no. Listen, B. Listen, you're getting 300 gigs of data. They're telling you could do whatever you want with it. You're giving me a drop in speed. You're giving me a drop in video playback, and you're giving me a price increase. You can't see how that's a problem.
No, nobody's saying that. Nobody.
I'm not saying that though, Sneed.
I think from the get go, the consensus from everyone on this panel was that it was poor. It was a poor choice. Everyone has said that, but you can't deny the fact that the other competitors in the industry at their entry level price points are offering less than what Verizon's doing with this plan. From the beginning, I said Verizon was offering too much. $25 in my
absolutely. It was always
giving away the kitchen
sink.
Hold
on, E. They said it was introductory pricing, so I was anticipating a price increase. I even said I'm good with a price increase, but they took a lot away and they raised prices.
The network management was always going to like this, and the network management was always going to come because Spectrum is a finite resource.
The fact that this exists is bullshit. 1080p for home internet is bullshit.
fixed wireless
So
was
is the
never
fact
meant
that you
to
got
be
to
a
pay
home internet
billions of dollars for
replacement.
spectrum, but it is what it is. It is what it is, Sneed. You got to pay billions of dollars for this stuff. It's expensive and it's not infinite. It is what it is. And
Los,
fiber is
get in
never
here,
going to be
bro. Los, get
available.
in here.
It's never going to be available from sea to side and sea. It's not.
At the end of the day, home fixed wireless was not meant to be a home internet replacement, traditional hardline. AT&T is doing it the smartest because they are making it available in areas where they are expanding their fiber. They're getting statistics off these routers to eventually say, okay, let's say this neighborhood gets 20 fixed wireless in these 2 blocks. Well, they know they got to expand fiber faster there than somewhere else where they don't have none. The
Verizon's
end
doing the
game is
exact
that,
same
bro.
thing in their fiber footprint.
Fixed wireless at the end of the day is not a home internet replacement unless you're in rural America where you
I
have
agree with that.
no
You're right.
hardline option.
You're right.
And and I'm sorry, I know it hurts a lot of people hearing that, but it's facts. You live in a major city, it is not a replacement. Look at all the bullshit I go through, suffering, trying to make
Los be
a
going
fixed
through it.
wireless work.
Yeah.
Trying to make a fixed wireless work, and at the end it ends up crapping out on me. And then who did I go back to? I went back to the traditional hardline, Cox.
No.
So at the end of the day, bro, fixed wireless is not a replacement, dude. It is just a band-aid. Unless you have no other options and you're in the middle of BFE like where I'm at right now, fixed wireless would be a solution, but we got fiber here, so we don't need it. We don't need that fixed wireless trash or shit. Get out of here.
All right, good stuff, guys. Nice discussion on that piece. All right, let's
I hear you, Mike Johnson. but Verizon's still making more than anybody else in the industry, man. Just saying.
And
Even with
and
them
you got
losing money, they're still killing everybody. Even they're still killing everybody free cash flow. So
and you got to
it's not
think
my
you got
opinion.
to
That's
think
just
about
facts.
you got to think about this like, yeah, okay, it's messed up, with the it's kind of messed up that the video throttle got put in, but how much you want to bet that the other carriers are going to do the same with their fixed wireless products?
Los,
Eventually, there's going to
literally
be speed
I
tiers.
literally proposed it in my video. I said the same damn thing. This is going to be a license for others to do the same thing in fixed wireless access, but it doesn't change the fact that the consumer and the companies themselves are pushing this as a home internet replacement.
And that's not true.
300.
That's not
What is this
true.
300 gigabytes
Verizon
of
has
data
never
cap?
said
What
that.
is this?
When did
Yes,
Verizon
they
say? Now
have.
I know T-Mobile. T-Mobile doesn't have a fiber product to sell, so I understand why they would be saying that. But Verizon's never come out and said fixed wireless is going to replace FiOS, so it's going to replace fiber. They've never said that. That's only something that's coming from T-Mobile.
Yeah, but why
T-Mobile
does it
said that their
no,
product
but
is better.
why does it have to be fiber? It doesn't have to. They say home broadband, don't they?
Because that's what it is. But that doesn't mean it's replacing fiber to the prim.
It's not
If
just
that was the
fiber
case,
though.
then why?
You're only saying fiber. It's not just fiber, B.
But
It's cable, it's
okay,
coaxial, it's everything. It's the whole thing.
so
So generally
so who?
speaking, home internet, this is supposed to be a replacement or a substitute or an alternative.
It's supposed to be an option. There are so many places in America that don't even have an option. And all of us are speaking from a place of privilege because many of us have the option of fiber. But for the vast majority of America, from a square mile standpoint, they do not have that option. They don't have anything,
let me
Sneed.
let me make
that
a
is
comment
huge
here.
huge point right there in the
Yeah.
comment.
Let me make a
So
comment. Let me reply to this.
we're arguing
B.
about
Hold on.
1080p.
Hold on. 1 second,
And
B. 1 second. 1 second. Devon, who often comments in my videos, the average person watches 4K content on their TV. So there's that. Go ahead, B.
The average person does.
Yes.
I never knew that, bro. Because
Really, Carlos? People don't go to Best Buy and buy 4K TVs. Are you serious?
Well, they buy
it's
the
a
4K
recession.
TV,
People are
People
buying
don't have
TVs.
Disney Plus. People don't have
thing-
Netflix 4K. Are you serious?
Yeah, and they're watching it on their
people are
phones.
still on traditional. A lot of people are still on traditional. How do you call it? Cable and shit, and that's on 1080. Keeping it real.
Guys, we're in a place of privilege. Many of us live in larger cities where fiber is available and millimeter wave is available and C-band is available. and the best of the best is constantly being thrown because we live in root metric cities. But there are many places across the country that do not get that kind of love, and they will be happy and grateful to get a 1080p product, especially at that price point. I'm just being honest, guys. Network management is going to happen. We can complain, we can be upset, we can be mad. It
Bro,
is
you
what
know
it
what's
is.
crazy,
It's
B?
going to
You know
happen
what's
on that product.
crazy?
It is.
I want to know what you'll say to this. I can hotspot my TV off of my freaking Verizon wireless hotspot on my phone and do 4K. How does that make you feel?
I mean, that's great, Sneed.
I
But what
want to
about the
know what your
person
response is.
my response is exactly what I told you. That's great. That's outstanding, and I'm happy for you. That's a good thing. But you're talking about the basic Verizon fixed wireless access plan that's being
But it's
sold at the
proof.
cheapest price
But it's
point.
proof that it's
And
not the network. It's upsell. It's proof.
I didn't say it wasn't though, Sneed. I've already okay. Let me say it again because maybe I'm being misunderstood. I agree that there's upsell going on. Absolutely, these are companies that are trying to make money. I'm not oblivious to that. All that I'm saying is, and I've said it more than once, it's both. We have a situation where companies are trying to upsell and manage their network. That's what they get paid to do because
Hey,
the
B,
customer has
can
said,
you do
"I
it
want
visible?
unlimited usage."
Can you do
Say
it
again?
visible? Can you do 4K?
Can I do what with visible?
4K hotspot to the TV with visible? Can you do it?
That's a
I
good
didn't know you
question.
could do
I'm
No,
not sure. I don't know.
no,
I don't
no.
know. I
Hey,
don't know.
look. At the end of the day, bro, we can blame local and state municipalities for not allowing a universal fiber product to be rolled out throughout their state. Like here in Utah, we have Utopia, and literally they'll run the fiber wire no matter where. Like right now, where the cabin's at, it's literally in the middle of BFE. The nearest house is 15 miles away, and I got fiber. You get the option to have fiber ran. So that's the difference of where a state allows fiber to be ran everywhere and a place where you're limited to the monopolies, the big duopolies, which is big cable. So at the
Well,
end
I
of
mean,
the day, we
everybody
can blame
doesn't.
the states.
There's truth to what you're saying. I think that there's truth to that, Los. But I'm not so sure I want the government being responsible for my internet. I don't know about that. But I do
But that's
understand where you're coming
no,
from with respect to choice.
but they lax. I'm not talking about them being responsible. They lax it to where a company like here, they have Utopia. Utopia can run it everywhere. It's a private company, Utopia, but they get tax dollars from the state to be able to run the fiber everywhere, no matter what.
Okay, gotcha.
They give
So I
them
mean
the, they
that
give
is
them the
going
green
on.
light to do it wherever. That's not
Yeah,
going
that is
on
going
everywhere.
on. I
That's not
mean,
going
that's
on
true.
everywhere
That's true.
because
That's true.
you could be 900 feet away from the nearest fiber tap, and they'll deny you, or you have to pay $10,000. Here you don't have to pay.
That's
Here you
true.
only pay $300 max here to have it ran.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's not happening everywhere, but it is happening in many places. I mean, I know AT&T is growing fiber like crazy, utilizing a lot of the BEAD money that's out there. Verizon's doing the same thing. Comcast, a lot of these guys are using government funding to expand fiber, but fiber to the prim takes a long time. It's not an easy. It is a grind. So, I mean, I'm not sure if America's ever going to be at a place where every zip code is going to have access to a fiber to the home product. I'm not sure how long it's going to take for us to get there. And that's the reason why fixed wireless was put in place. It seemed like to be able to offer something to as many customers as possible who may or may not have an option at all, or who have maybe only had one option for a substantial period of time. And I think that's a good
I
thing.
mean,
Choice is good for
I look.
everybody.
I mean,
Hey
at
guys,
the
can
end
we
of the day,
transition to the next story?
yeah.
So yeah, absolutely,
Okay.
Snake. Whatever you want to do.
You guys did great. It was a great discussion. Really
It
good
really was.
insights
It
and
really was.
yeah, good stuff, guys. Really do appreciate you all. Okay, so T-Mobile's got a new gateway, and apparently it's going to be compatible with some external antennas. And I think it's probably going to be really important for a certain demographic of customers, which, by the way, is a big part of what T-Mobile is attracting to their fixed wireless access service, which are places where the signal is very sparse, right? The tower sites are very far and spread apart from one another. You know, you might be a couple of miles from a cell, maybe 3 miles away from a cell. and an external antenna kind of gives you an option to increase the signal quality and, improve it. And I think most importantly, I think where people have problems with fixed wireless access is uplink, with distance with the cell. So having an external antenna really would probably help fix some of these problems, at least mitigate it, right? So if you're getting an uplink of like 5 megabits, kind of get you to 10 or 15 megabits, makes it much more usable and enjoyable. So with T-Mobile kind of moving towards a solution that maybe has an external, set of antennas, do you guys think, number one, do you think the consumer responds and wants external antennas? Number two, how much does it help them in terms of improving the experience? Carlos, start with you. Your thoughts on the external antenna situation on this new gateway?
Well, first of all, I'm gonna have to throw the sidewinder blow. It's gonna be at a it's gonna be at a low. It's gonna be at your introductory price of $79.99. Okay, but next, yeah, it should
The
help. It
service
should.
with the gateway and the
No,
antennas?
no, I'm talking about the antenna. The antenna's being sold separately. FYI.
Oh, got you. Okay.
Yeah.
You're paying for it
So
outright, or is it like still like a rental kind of deal?
no, you pay it outright.
Okay. All right.
So so I mean, it's good what they're doing with that because that was their kind of their fall in their home internet product, especially with the three gateways that they have right now. They're trash, man. One reboots all the time. The Sagecom, the Arcadian is so. It's pretty decently stable at times, but it overheats. And then the Nokia has just been a mixed bag. So to have something that actually can offer the consumer to be able to have an external antenna, maybe all it takes is for them to just put it up against the window, of their house, or double side tape it on the window or some to give that extra boost. And yeah, I mean it's not a bad idea. But now the thing is will this gateway, because of how thin it is and the extra processes it's going to need, will it be able to handle the anticipated heat, especially that it's going to have standalone capabilities? And we know standalone heats all products up. Now that's going to be the interesting question because it's too damn thin, I think, for air circulation. And that's just me.
All right. Let me get EM in this, and then we'll get Moose and B.
Well, in terms of my thoughts on the product.
Yeah. So you're getting a gateway with potentially, also having, the antennas to improve the signal. Do you think customers will respond to this? Do they want this? Are they willing to add the extra hardware? It kind of takes away some of that convenience to it, right? Just plugging in a gateway and calling it a day. Carlos is saying that there might be a fee, applied to this. So there's that. And, how much do you think it helps the experience for the customer at the end of the day?
I mean, I think from the get-go with the team, especially with the T-Mobile product, there was a extreme demand for the ability to add external antennas to the gateways that they gave you. I mean, people were just Frankensteining the Nokia trash can to get external antennas on. They'd take them apart. They put on custom fans, all this crap, and I think offering an outright solution for those customers is a really good idea. I wish Verizon did it, honestly. Like the high gain antenna that comes with the millimeter wave product, the LV65,
Right.
one of the best pieces of consumer hardware I've ever tested. And it improves the service quality like immensely. As long as they do it right and this product is good, I think it's a slam dunk. But I I question T-Mobile's ability to push out a product, a physical piece of hardware that's going to be as good or up to snuff as some of the stuff I've seen from Verizon so far. So we'll wait and see just how good it is, I guess.
All right. So next up, Moose, if you are in the house.
I mean, it is what it is, right? Anytime you have a fixed wireless situation, or even from a hotspot like the Nighthawks, right? They even have connectors for
Oh, yeah, they got
external
ports.
antenna.
That's right. Yeah.
Even so yeah, definitely really good. I know that I've taken apart the egg, right? And there could be another version that comes out in the future that has external antennas for those folks that are in like the very rural areas, right? But and by the way, Chacha Carlos is absolutely right. When you're on SA, that thing heats up, man, like ridiculous heat. That's why what I've noticed about the egg, because that's like the most familiar product that I know of from the most recent catalog of fixed wireless options. It does have a fan, so it does turn on the fan occasionally, right? If it gets too hot. But here's the thing, right? Winter is coming, but it's very, very, very slow to come, right? The heat is ridiculous right now. This is the hottest weekend in Texas, so it's going to be interesting. But yeah, I mean, great. I think that T-Mobile still has a lot of work to do from their product itself, like the actual device for fixed wireless, but it's a good step in the right direction.
All right, let me get B in here.
It seems like a reasonable. It sounds like an accessory. Seems like a reasonable accessory in order to be able to, expand coverage within a person's home. I have no problem with this. I'm sure, you know, all of the carriers, Verizon and AT&T, will probably have something like this coming in the future, if not already, developing something or something along those lines. It doesn't seem to be something too difficult to be able to get out to customers. So, I mean, I'm okay with this. At the end of the day, if it improves the customer experience, then why not?
All right, we got a couple of new members to the panel. All right, we got RFK Tech USA and Blind G. Let's get Rick up in here. Yo, Ricky, what do you think about T-Mobile adding some external antennas to improve the signal quality on their home internet gateways?
Well, hello there, Mr. Big YouTuber SMT. Good to see you.
What's up, buddy?
Good to see everybody in here.
Thanks for stopping by, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty good topic tonight. T-Mobile, that's my favorite topic. Them skunks are skunking it up. So, the skunky's got to have an opinion,
So Rick, do you think that having more external antennas could decrease the skunkiness?
Absolutely. And actually, I got the free T-Mobile line on my S23 Ultra. Note. Yeah, if you guys are going to call N77 C-band, I'm going to call my S23 a Note. Oh, yes, and guess what? They actually put N41 on this tower here at work. And it's
Ricky,
standalone.
They put EBS BRS on your tower site?
You're so funny. Enough with the alphabet soup. We've never used alphabet soup, so why start today?
Go ahead, Rick.
100 megahertz of N41, right?
Uh-huh.
And I'm 0.3 miles from the tower. I can actually see it from work here. Guess what the signal on N41 is? Just take a wild guess.
I don't know.
Minus 100 to minus 115. It fluctuates.
What's the range?
Well, the range ain't very far. If I'm 0.3 miles away and the signal is already minus 100, that's
are you
pathetic.
Sure? Are you sure that's
positive.
Not a neighboring cell?
No, it's not. It's right here, yeah. And I even went on their map and confirmed it. And guess what? It is pretty accurate on the description on there. The edge cell is about probably where it is. Now on AT&T, which is on the same exact tower with 80 megahertz of N77, guess what the signal is from them?
Probably in the 80s.
Yep, minus 80.
Yeah.
Very, very good. So T-Mobile has standalone turned on, and the standalone only works if I walk outside. If I walk in a building 0.3 miles away, it goes back to N71, 15 megahertz.
What's the signal? What's the signal strength on N71?
N71 is probably minus 90.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty crappy. So to answer your question, yes, absolutely. External antennas will unskunkify the network, but you're still going to get hacked for free, though.
Damn, that's one of the benefits that comes with the Netflix, premium.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. But so I tested it in that standalone mode. It killed my battery. Yeah, my
Oh,
battery
shit.
went from 80% to 40% in like 2 hours. My phone has never experienced a sharp drop like that. So yeah, I think I'll stick to AT&T and Verizon. And my Verizon home internet's working great. So there you go.
Nice, Ricky. Let me get Blind G in here. Just stepped
Yes,
into
sir.
the panel, man. Your thoughts and opinions on the external antennas and the T-Mobile fixed wireless access gateway.
Well, since I'm one of those small town folk, I think that'll be a blessing for out here. If you're into that T-Mobile thing, I'm personally not. Um, but I think it will be good if it can
Mm-hmm.
bring the signal a little bit closer for those people that are just trying to get a value carrier.
Yeah, still people looking for that. It might be a certain price point. They
Yeah,
might have problems with explosive pricing with their other
yeah,
options. Sometimes I think the reliability of some cable ISPs as well, DSL, they can be kind of touch and
yeah.
go also.
And like RFK Tech said, um, you get a hack for free.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and PA Tech said you're in a null zone possibly. Nope, I'm not. That antenna's pointing right at me at 3.3 miles away, 0.3 of a mile.
Must be some kind of interference or noise risk going on there. I don't know.
Well, I don't
It's
know what
weird.
would be different. I'm on an island here. There's nothing else around. I mean, there's a string of towers up and down the islands. There's no neighboring cell sites. I mean, it's just there's one up the keys and one down below. So there's nothing. So I don't know.
All right, guys, we got to address the elephant in the room.
Uh-oh.
Yep. T-Mobile just cut its workforce by 7%. Moose, I know that the
Wait,
claps are about to happen. I know
I've
it's
been
going
waiting for this. Hold up.
Wait, hold on.
down. Yeah, Eugene,
Listen.
Beautiful,
Sweaty
man.
Armpits is going to be clapping 5,000.
Mhm.
You guys
T-Mobile's
are
deception lies strikes again.
these shills. If they ever defend T-Mobile after this, man, this is stupid. Look, it is what it is. The company needs to save money somehow because they have people that are paying literally less than $10 a line, literally having 12 lines for like $105. I've seen it.
Damn.
It's ridiculous.
And don't
It is
forget the
what it
price
is.
increase.
Yeah, there's only a price increase when you have free lines and then you go to the new plan, right? But again, that's not enough, right? So that's why you have people needing to be laid off. Anyways, keep going. I'll get to more later. Keep going.
All right, Cha-Cha. We got
More
5,000
chicken.
jobs. That adds up to about 7% of the workforce. The CEO came out with some kind of like a press release or a letter, and he said after they do this, that they don't foresee any issues moving forward in the future where there would be more layoffs. So basically, he's saying this, and we are good. We're going to move forward. He said what it takes to attract and retain customers is materially more expensive than it was just a few quarters ago. We've been
So they don't
outrunning.
So they don't foresee. Is that the new term for being blind?
We've been outrunning this trend by
Hey.
accelerating merger synergies and building our high-speed internet business faster than expected, and outperforming in a few other areas. However, it is clear that doing everything we are doing and just doing it faster is not enough to deliver on these changing customer expectations going forward.
Wow, that's not a
I'm
bunch of
allergic to BS.
That's a bunch of fluff, isn't it? Right?
Actually, to be honest with you, he's actually being truthful. You know what he's saying? He's saying shit's getting expensive, and we can't keep giving customers free stuff without cutting your jobs.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Wow.
That's basically what he said. So, like, in order for T-Mobile to continue to add 700,000 customers a quarter, in order to continue to get 550,000 fixed wireless access subs in order to continue, to pay their employees that they're not firing. This is what had to be done.
But aren't they just the latest and greatest to join the new industry standard of surplusing?
So AT&T does it with regularity.
Uh-huh.
Verizon just did their little round,
Uh-huh.
and T-Mobile has basically done layoffs every other quarter,
Yep.
because they did
Hey.
instantly after the merger. They got rid of a lot of Sprint. Then they did some dealer retail shifting with Metro.
Yeah,
And they did some retail shifting, right, closing some Sprint stores. And then they did more layoffs here. And there have been like some engineering layoffs that they had. Remember that from last year?
Yeah.
I mean, there have been probably in the last 4 years at least 5 rounds of layoffs. Maybe the last 3 years, 5 rounds.
Wow, that's as many hacks as there was too. Wow.
No. There's a quarterly hack. Let's not get ourselves here.
Okay.
But they're giving you 4K though. Let's be positive. They're giving you 4K.
Well, I mean, they had to fire 5,000 people to give you 4K.
Till it buffers.
Exactly. So what's it? Hey man, yeah, to the buffers. But they're giving you the
Hey,
4K.
it could be
Or your
worse.
modem.
It
Or your
could be
modem
worse.
melts down.
It could be worse. You could pay premium pricing and not be able to get a home internet box returned to another carrier. That could happen.
So what you're trying to say is they give you more chicken, then less chicken, then you find out the chicken's raw.
Bro, but what if the chicken is bad? Does it matter that you're getting more?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's raw and it's bad.
With T-Mobile will be burnt chicken from those hot modems.
Hey, what up, Big John Tech Reviews? My buddy Big John is in the house.
Oh my goodness.
5,000 jobs, 7% of the workforce. From what I understand, none of it is retail related and none of it is customer care related. So it's basically some of that corporate office, those positions. I think some engineering is in there too.
No, don't fire the engineers.
I don't see. Well, here's the problem. I was saying this in my video earlier yesterday.
Yeah.
Is that if you experience network related issues and they've been laying off engineers, the response tickets, the response times are going to get longer. Towers are probably going to be more problematic more often and for longer durations because they'll be less responsive.
I can verify that.
Didn't they also say that they're going to reduce contractors as well?
Yeah, that's confirmed. They're moving to a contractor only engineering plan. So they're not really they're not going to have like in-house engineers and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
I think what they're doing is they're going to downsize their in-house engineering team. They're going to make it as like bare bones skeleton as possible and then just contract on demand whenever something goes wrong.
Getting rid of the Sprint engineers was the biggest mistake they ever did.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. That was a huge mistake. I mean, actually, if you think about it, Rick, when they got rid of them, it was after 90% of the integration was done.
Who's the most expensive carrier right now, Sneed?
T-Mobile is the most expensive carrier.
Okay.
So right. I wanted to look at this real quick, and this is the head count for major U.S. ISPs, wireless ISPs, and home ISPs. Some are included here. We got Lumen, but I don't really see any other ones. But let me zoom in a little bit for you guys. We're going to go back to 2017 and up to like present time. Yeah, so here's the numbers. In 2017, AT&T had 280,000 employees. They were down to 156. So they basically cut their headcount in half. Lumen's down from 51,000 to 30,000. Sprint is gone. All right, T-Mobile went from 51,000 to 75,000 post-merger to now 66,000. So their layoffs since the Sprint merger is 11,000.
Wow.
And you remember when they said they were going to be jobs positive?
Yeah, we knew that was deceptionalized.
Right. So, and then Verizon is down from 155,000 to 114,000. Wow. So, they're down, 30 or 40 grand, whatever. So all
Wow.
carriers have been shrinking. It's interesting because I feel that since over this time frame, customer care has gone down the shitter. The sheer inability to solve common basic problems is like so difficult. Um, it's really bad. So like we've been seeing less employees at these companies, and basically services have gotten worse. The networks have gotten better. They've gotten bigger, they've gotten faster, they've gotten more reliable, all those things, but
Yeah, somewhat.
yeah, but the rest of it
Still a
is
lot of
like,
mistakes being made.
what do you
Like
mean, Rick?
DC before the spectrum is totally deployed.
But you're talking about like transitional stuff. I'm talking about like when things are kind of coming together, we can see how good it is.
Right. Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, the conversations about DC are warranted, but it's less of an issue today than it was a year ago, right?
Well, I could tell you this: the DC on Verizon with the 160 megahertz is now working amazing. 3 miles
I
away
don't,
from the site,
Rick, I don't get DC over here. Every site
400
has an
down and
upgrade.
50 up. It's okay now. It's not like trash. So the spectrum is helping. They increased the power and everything. It's amazing. Verizon is impressive.
Ricky, how you gonna
I
talk smack about the T-Mobile network when you know they're the GOAT in 5G?
Stop it,
say
Sneed.
5G.
Stop it, please.
I mean,
Stop it,
the
Sneed.
rumor has it that B used to have a T-Mobile home internet on a cage on his roof.
Oh shit!
Definitely not.
But then,
Definitely not.
but then he got rid of it. Then he ran into Verizon's loving arm.
Oh
As
damn!
Moose would say, that's blasphemy.
Blasphemous.
I'm just picking on you, B.
Hey, I want to get Moose in on this. Moose, what's your take, man? You got T-Mobile, you got these job cuts, 7% of the workforce. They've cut over 10,000 jobs, over the course of the last few years. Merger promises be damned. That shit is over. Here we are, man.
So it's actually really interesting when you bring up that. Can you go back to that chart? Scroll down or whatever. Yeah. So and by the way, Chacha Sneed has exclusive reporting on what's going to happen between now and next year, as well as Chacha Carlos. They know that this is not going to be the landscape in a year from now. I mean, it's going to be drastically different. But
Elaborate, Moose.
So I mean, Sneed, if you would like to, mention some of that, what you've been exclusively reporting on.
Yeah. So so every carrier is downsizing. Every carrier is going to be executing layoffs. If you look, they're all kind of doing the same thing, right? Headcount continues to shrink. And some jobs, I think, they call it surplusing and redundancies. But I think what it boils down to is they can operate without certain numbers of individuals within each of these departments and roles. So they'll just consolidate responsibilities and they'll just kind of go from there. Like something I know for a fact is going to be happening is AT&T is not done. Like AT&T for sure is going to be looking to continue to drop that 156,000. Like we're talking by the end of the year, they might be closer to 100,000. Like that's going to happen. They're doing everything in their power to reduce their headcount. They've got a ton of debt. The investors apply pressure every single earnings conference, every single earnings report. You saw Verizon's response. I mean, they cut off thousands recently to try to make their businesses a little bit more streamlined and lean. So am I really surprised? I can't say that I am. I mean, T-Mobile's been doing this in little waves over the last few years. AT&T does it in waves. Verizon has even done it in a couple of different ways. I will say to Verizon's defense, they tried to hold on to as many people as possible for as long as they could, but the company simply does not grow. So there comes a point where it's like, all right, well, Verizon has made these decisions. Hey, we're going to just focus on profitable growth, margins and stuff so they had to lay people off. And we're talking, probably about 20,000 people over the course of the last few years. It's been kind of quiet because most of what they did involved probably some NDAs and settlements, right? They gave them their severance package and told them shut up and take your unemployment or whatever. So but I don't know. I know what's coming down the pipeline. I expect more from T-Mobile. I just don't know when, and I don't know which departments it's going to be. I expect more from AT&T. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, quarterly layoffs from AT&T, and I think that's the realization. Until the companies get so lean that something breaks, and when it breaks, they'll hire a few thousand people.
Well, to be fair, the only reason they're getting lean is because of the current economic environment we're working with right now. I mean,
And I
Actually,
keep
they
telling
they
people,
say they say it's not true. They say it's actually not because of
yeah,
the current economics.
I
They
don't
say they're
know.
just trying to address their debt.
I don't. Well, I think that's a good. I think that's a good excuse, but I still think it's the investors do want a lean, mean company. I mean, if you look at any company, not just wireless, in the stock market right now, the investors are looking at companies that are lean and mean and producing a lot of revenue. You know, because there's becoming more. I'm sorry, less and less of an option to find a company like that because a lot of companies are folding or we're seeing in different markets, different consolidations, So
So
Well,
does
the
that?
the other thing, Josh, is
mhm.
the situation with the debt is they have to start paying it, and
Exactly.
the
Yeah.
cost of borrowing money is up. Like, you look
Yeah.
at rates, right, and you can't refinance to a higher rate. That doesn't make any damn sense,
Yeah.
right? So
B, let me ask you a question. Do you want a nervous investor?
no,
Yeah. So how are you going to do that? You're going to reduce the debt, right? That's what Sneed's getting at, right?
you do the best that you can to reduce the debt, and you do the
Yeah.
best that you can to reduce expenses because in telecom, it's a very capex sensitive industry. You're going to spend a lot of money every year. You have to in order to keep the
Well,
networks working, in order to make sure that they work better every year. Because again,
mhm.
usage goes up every year. The consumer uses more and more data every year and expects to pay the same flat rate every year.
And would you not say
In
it's
my
also
opinion,
OpEx intensive, and that's why they're trying to reduce the OpEx?
well, that's what I was saying. Like when you're talking about
Yeah.
spending on capex and also trying to maintain the network
Yeah.
that you have, it's
Okay.
extremely expensive. So,
Yeah.
like the carriers look to shave and reduce costs as much as they can because they have to, because all
Hmm.
of them are looking for ways to be profitable and grow. And in telecom, it has proven to be hard to achieve both. Because we're talking about T-Mobile, which is the fastest grower and the one that gets all of the growth or the highest levels of growth, and they have for years, and they're cutting more jobs than both of the two companies that aren't growing as much. So, I mean, if you look at the disparities between 2021, 2022, first half 2023, it's been Verizon that's cut the least amount of jobs year after year. They've had the smallest amount of layoffs because they seem to be the ones that don't want to go crazy with spending on acquiring customers. I mean, they would rather spend on their network. It seems to be a more balanced approach than everyone else, but it's king of the pigs because from a profitability and a growth standpoint, they still get hit over the head by the investor because they're not growing like everybody wants them to, I guess. So I
Yeah.
mean, everybody's trying to chase that, you know, that magic level of performance, and it's just really hard to achieve in this industry. It's challenging. It's hard.
So what you're trying to say is they're trying to find an arbitrary balance that the investors find, um, that they find suitable, and
That's exactly right.
it just it feels like the investors are moving the goalpost and forcing them to do the surplusing and all this other stuff. I don't know.
Pretty much
It's yeah,
because you have options from other companies and other industries, and you're
yeah.
looking and you're comparing these companies to other companies and other industries that are growing at much faster rates. And so, of
Mhm.
course, the investor is saying, well, I mean, if you can't give me what they're getting me over here, I'll just put my money over there. I understand it. It makes perfect sense from a telco standpoint. I mean, what do you do? If you owe what these companies owe as far as debt is concerned, and you have to be expected to spend on capex to grow out this network that's going to allow people to have access to internet options that they're going to end up complaining about anyway. But at least they have options. They have the ability to be able to get these things. They didn't have it years ago. I mean, something's got to give, and unfortunately, oftentimes it ends up being the employee that has to suffer. So,
the way you're framing it actually goes against T-Mobile's growth story
in my opinion,
because what you're saying is it's unsustainable because of their spending.
absolutely, that's
Okay.
the reason why. That's the reason why they're slowing down. I mean, the promotions are starting to slow. The prices are starting to go up. They're acting like a carrier, quote unquote, because they have no choice. Like, the music has stopped. The musical chairs is over, and now they got to actually start paying some bills and caring for these customers that they've acquired over the last few years. And it is expensive to do. It costs a lot of money to give people what they want, which is 4K streaming for $30, for $25. And as much of it as I want to use, and don't tell me I can't, because I need a little bit more chicken. And it's expensive to do that.
No, I'm going to argue for that chicken. I agree with Sneed on that. Give me that.
Okay, before we do this, because I already know where this is going. Before we do this, let me get to this super chat. Great, thank you. Great, thank you for the super chat. Why do you think AT&T and T-Mobile seem reluctant to expand millimeter wave coverage compared to Verizon? So first, I think Verizon, as a company with respect to the philosophy, I think they're a company that is fearless and embraces the grind of density, the densification process. And for the most part, their CapEx has been conducive to expanding on millimeter wave. I also think they believe in the technology, and they've also harnessed the proper assets to move forward with it as something that's a big part of what they do in the future. So they've
And I got a
positioned
comment on that.
themselves right. They've put themselves in a position to be leading the industry with it. They're going to leverage it as a very important tool to keeping their network bulletproof in the future when the mid-band simply is not enough. There will come a day where mid-band will need relief, and millimeter wave will be the capacity cheat code that can actually keep those mid-band channels free of congestion. And I think that's what Verizon wants to do. I think there comes a point where a majority of their outdoor traffic in the urban centers is going to be millimeter wave traffic, and they're also going to start using some of their their partners and their ownership assets with things like pivots and echoes to enhance that coverage even more. And of course, DAS systems with millimeter wave, all that's kind of part of the process. AT&T and T-Mobile, I mean, AT&T does it, but to a smaller extent. I think T-Mobile, because they don't own fiber or infrastructure, they're more reluctant to do so.
And I got a comment on that, Sneed.
Go ahead.
Yes, that is true. And one reason I think the millimeter wave was pretty much forced by Verizon is because of the lack of spectrum, and our lazy, dumb, stupid FCC wasn't getting auctions enough and new spectrum enough. So in order to fight the congestion, especially in the urban areas, that's why they had to do millimeter wave. The reason why T-Mobile and AT&T is not doing it is they don't really need to, because they've had the other frequencies to kind of band-aid and hold them up. But when GigaMIMO comes out, then you're going to see an explosion between all three carriers. They're going to switch to millimeter wave, GigaMIMO, and they're going to start putting it up on every site. Because still, the FCC has not given us any new frequencies. Sure, they're talking about the 3.1 gigahertz, but I don't know. The way they work, they're not even allowed to auction it right now. And as bad as they are, I don't think we're ever going to see it within 6 years, 5 to 6 years. So I think the license for millimeter wave is already out there, but it's got such low range and everything, low propagation, that when GigaMIMO comes out, then it's going to turn into a real good macro band. And I think you're going to see all the carriers jump on board with that, especially with the data usage going higher and higher and higher with 4K video and all this other kind of stuff.
The reason why is because it's expensive. The other carriers didn't want to do it because it doesn't go very far, and it's expensive to deploy because of that. You have to use small cells. You have to use those types of special case solutions in order to be able to deploy it. That's why they wanted to stay away from it. Now, as far as Verizon is concerned, to what was said before, I think RF Tech just said it. there hasn't been but one 5G spectrum auction. That was for C-band. T-Mobile did not win an auction
DoD.
for that spectrum. They just bought. Okay, DoD, but all right, you can say two. There's only been two auctions that have been made available for people to be able to acquire spectrum. T-Mobile bought another company to get the majority of theirs, and they came out with a huge advantage as far as being able to deploy faster than everybody else. So AT&T and Verizon were behind as far as that respect, but the whole thing is about price. Millimeter wave is expensive to deploy. That's the reason why the other carriers didn't want to get involved. At the beginning or the inception of 5G, you also had differences in philosophy as far as whether 5G was even necessary. John Ledger initially was saying 5G wasn't even necessary. So if you go back far enough, you can see him. He's quoted as saying things of that nature. So I mean, it is what it is. But to RF Tech's point, eventually everybody will be using millimeter wave, but it's just the early adopter, which is Verizon. They have the most licenses. I think they've got over 1,700 megs of available, spectrum that they can use for millimeter wave. And I mean, nobody else is even close. So they got in first. They've been innovating and coming up with products and services and different things to be able to get millimeter wave out there. The other carriers haven't really taken advantage of it. So I don't know.
Mhm. Yeah, with GigaMIMO, when it comes out, 600 megahertz or even just 500 megahertz on GigaMIMO is enough to have huge capacities and huge range equal to the lower bands. So it's going to be very, very amazing when that tech comes out in the next 1 to 2 years.
You know what I'd love to hear? I like to hear what Moose has to say, what he thinks that AT&T is going to look like in the next year, 2, 3 years.
We did
Put on
have a
the gloves, bro.
conversation about this. Um, we did have a conversation about this on a random Saturday, actually last Saturday, right, Chacha Sneed?
Yeah, it was a good show, Moose.
So in the next 3 years, because 2026 World Cup is coming to US, 11 cities, right? These cities are going to be definitely different than what you know of them today. C-RAN, or the small cells, are going to have C-band antennas and radios instead of the current LTE that is today. You're going to have significant improvements in macro density, right? Because you are going to see a lot more millimeter wave being pointed down in urban areas, right? Onto the street level, because the anticipation is that there's going to be approximately 3 to 5 million more people in the United States in a 3-month period. You also have this idea of, a millimeter wave in more areas in stadiums, right? So it's not just going to be in the seating area, it's also going to be outside. It's going to be in the surrounding areas. It's going to be anywhere that there's going to be a tailgate for the game, basically. Like they have like these fan centers, right? They're going to have them in strategic parks, strategic stadiums, everywhere, right? That they can do them. FIFA has already put out a list, by the way, too. It's all public, right? So you have 3 years essentially to prepare for this massive influx of people, and millimeter wave is going to be a part of it, because step one, right? And Sneed's been saying this since day one, is go onto the cell site, deploy everything you got right now. And then step two is, okay, strategically, you can add, millimeter wave. There may be a spectrum auction between now and then. We don't know, right? In 3 years' time, a lot can change in the wireless industry. 3 years is like, honestly, a decade, right? It's like night and day difference in some areas. So, and then by the way, airports, hospitals, hotels, all that is going to be in the plannings for World Cup, because there's going to be just so many more people that are going to need this type of connectivity, right? So I'm not going to be surprised if between now and then T-Mobile does strategic millimeter wave deployments. I know that millimeter wave is a strategy for AT&T in the long term, but I think in the near term you're going to be seeing more C-band on C-RAN versus millimeter wave. You know, um, and then obviously for folks that have been asking, right? 20 gig backhaul is definitely a thing. 100 gig backhaul to DAS systems at stadiums is definitely a thing. And then, the Cell Booster Pro. Cell Booster Pro is going to have C-band very shortly. Chacha Sneed is going to be getting one very, very shortly.
Oh, man. We're going to be clapping cheeks on a live stream testing
God damn, man. That is going to be massive insanity at the HQ, man.
Yeah, man.
It's
let me
go
let me
ahead.
get to this super chat real quick, Moose. This one from EM Tech. Big salute to you, man. Thank you for all that you do to support us. Pretty sure AT&T put a hard stop to DoD expansion due to cost concerns. That's what I was told. We definitely see that they were looking for some capex relief and reduction. That probably brought a little bit of relief to the investor. If they were able to kind of bring the capex intensity down a bit. And then this one also from Green, appreciate you, bro. He said, couldn't they just carrier aggregate C-band and millimeter wave to get more range and faster speeds so you don't have to put up as many small cells for coverage? The problem with millimeter wave, Green, is physics, right? It's a very fickle, sensitive, directional technology on a high frequency. It's going to need a lot of help to get better. And just by
Right.
aggregating with
Giga
C-band
MIMO
won't
is
do
going to
it.
be the help. Absolutely.
Not anymore. Not with the Echo pivots.
Well, that's the
Tucson-
Band-Aid part. Yeah, that helps. But the long-term goal to make it best is going to be Giga MIMO. We're talking
Tucson-
3 to 4 miles indoor coverage and 5 to 6 miles outdoor coverage on millimeter wave with Giga MIMO.
Right now in Tucson, Arizona, that's why the whole city, everywhere, even inside your home, you can get millimeter wave. Perfect signal too.
Yep. That tech's amazing too.
So it'll definitely get better. The technologies will improve. They'll become more common. The density gets better. Those types of things fix all problems. As these networks become more redundant, you get more spectrum on air, you get more sites, you get better backhaul. They continue to improve.
Hi, Baby Yoda. Right here.
Baby Yoda. Okay, we got an open forum. We've been on for a while, but is there anything anybody here on the panel wants to share, discuss, have questions on, or maybe if you missed a part of the show and you wanted to chime in on something?
Anything but cable.
Verizon should not cap its video.
Go in.
So didn't we have a pandemic and everybody just kind of let the caps loose?
Mm-hmm.
And we had less spectrum back then?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see where I'm going with this, Sneed?
I do. I do.
So why? Come on, B.
Bro, you remember that song from Jadakiss? Why? Oh, why?
Yeah, I was about to go there.
I mean, it's exactly what I was
Why
saying
are they
before.
putting shackles on the feet, bro? Why, B? Why are they putting shackles on the feet?
Don't make Sneed.
I've already explained it, man. Like, it's because all of the carriers figuring out ways to be able to manage their network while also trying to monetize.
Yeah, but what you're telling me is they're planning for tomorrow when they have demand today.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. They're planning for tomorrow while also trying to meet the demand of today. That's exactly what I'm saying. Yes.
But if the demand's for 4K and you have the capacity.
No, it's not. The demand is for access. The demand is not for 4K. The demand is for access. And people are getting that.
Oh, there's blasphemy in the chat. Verizon is dead meat? Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's dead meat where they don't have a market share and where they don't have the N77 deployed.
Rolando, I will give you the link and you can get on this panel, bro.
Yeah, come on, we're ready.
Yeah,
we got
Ricky
our punching
wants all
bags
the
on.
smoke. Yeah.
I got my Dukes
I
ready.
mean, their balance sheet doesn't say they're dead meat, but I mean, I hear him. I respect his opinion, but I don't know. Same thing with all the carriers. I mean, like I said, all of them are trying to find ways, like I said, to manage their network. And I mean, I understand it's going to be some
Mhm.
pain points for customers, but it's
I,
$35.
I,
Is what it is.
So
bro,
that
I
means
think
if he says Verizon is dead meat, that means T-Mobile is decomp
bro,
bodies in a grave.
I just ate dinner, bro.
Pretty
Okay.
much. Pretty much. I mean, I don't know. Verizon's got
Decomposing
like the
bodies
most
in a
customers.
grave.
Yeah, we got the most customers, got the most money. Doesn't look like a
but
dead
they
meat to
won't
me. It doesn't sound like dead meat,
but
but whatever.
but they won't let you do what you want with your data.
Yeah.
Ow.
Verizon does have some
No, they won't.
problems in certain
No,
areas.
they
They are gradually fixing them. They're doing an
no.
awesome job, but yeah, there is places that they're still band 13 only in the USA. But guess what? There's
That's
no
true.
market share. If there's no market share, then why would Verizon spend $3 million to get it there when they're not going to get the return on investment?
At the end of the day, it's about access. I mean, to your point, you were saying, they won't let you use or have access to your data. It's not necessarily your data.
So
You're asking them
so
by virtue of the plan being unlimited, you're asking them to manage the network for you because you don't want to manage your usage yourself. Like there was a time when the carriers, or specifically, I guess Verizon, but
or
people were
maybe
paying. It was a meter. It was a meter plan, so
or
people were
maybe
paying for what they use, but they weren't being capped or
or
anything on their performance.
or that's
So if we
just
don't
being
want to do
words
that,
or that's just being words put in the customer's mouth. Let's just be honest, bro. I mean, if they got more capacity, what's the real reason other than there's a narrative at one particular company that they just want to manage the network at 1080p? I mean, just be honest, bro. They want to manage it
well,
at 1080p because they want
it's
to
not
have
just
that
one
capacity
company.
later.
Well, it's not just one company. I mean, I think they just want that spectrum to last. That's what it seems like to me. They just
All
want it
right,
to last
we're
because
gonna do
it's
something
not it's
different
not an
tonight.
infinite amount.
We're gonna do something different tonight. All right, we're gonna let the SMT Nation pop in. I just put the StreamYard link. All right, when you come in, if you want to stick it to one of the panel members, maybe you want to stick it
Uh-oh.
to Ricky, you want to stick it to
Uh-oh.
Moose, you want to stick it to B, you want to stick it to the SMT. Apparently, B wants all the smoke tonight.
Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo,
Wow.
hey man, look, I promised to be respectful. I really, really do. I promise to be respectful. But I do
B
not
don't.
promise not to bite back. I will bite
Yeah,
back if I need to. So
B will
please,
bite,
look,
but
be
but
respectful,
he
please.
B will bite, but he won't gnaw on it. He'd be all right.
He wants to gnaw on the dead meat.
Oh no. Ugh.
All right, we got Rolando. What's going on, bro?
What's up, Orlando? I mean, Rolando.
Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
Here's all right. Well, I'm gonna tell you the truth about Verizon and this network. Basically, we know they got C-band.
And 77, yes, they do. Nationwide,
Correct.
not fully deployed yet.
Yes, but here's one thing that you need to understand when it comes to the network, anyway, because they have millimeter wave,
Yes.
For the urban areas. Yep.
and a lot of usage is going to be basically utilizing percentages and how much that bandwidth is going to hit.
What does that mean?
Rolando, why is Verizon dead meat, bro?
And the problem
Yeah.
is, like, Verizon wants to monetize it. The more they monetize it, the more like that spectrum's going to get overstretched.
Oh, I see what Rolando might be saying. He thinks that Verizon wants to monetize. Like, if you really want 4K, we'll just charge you $10 extra a month. Kind of
Put
how
it
they were
simply, it's
originally.
going to overload the network.
Yeah.
Put it simply.
See that. And it wasn't Verizon the one who was originally charging
The
$10
thing
just to have
is,
the
like,
privilege of 5G?
put it simply, the thing is, how can I say this? The most of that usage is going to be utilizing the home internet. the most. I'm talking about economical data, the usage. A massive amount of terabytes of data is going to be used on the Verizon network. I'm talking about 10 terabytes, 20 terabytes, you name it. A huge fact.
On one person's plan?
How many
you got people?
Is that what you mean? One customer, one line is going to use multiple terabytes of data today?
Now, 5 gigabits will pretty much be able to help with the, Yep.
Well, Verizon's where they're doing the N77 upgrades, where they're getting 140, 160, or even 200. Most of the rural areas are going to get 200. Those areas are going to have so much capacity. You can definitely do 4K.
Well, I get the spectrum. I get what they have. I get that. But the thing is, the Verizon is going to end up. They're going to end up limit the bandwidth at a certain point of time.
Why would they need to limit it?
Hey, is he cutting out for you guys too, or is it just me?
Yeah, I was going to ask him if he's on T-Mobile, but I was trying to be a nice guy.
I think he has Brazzers fiber, bro.
You mean Brasura?
No, I'm on. I have it still.
You guys are crazy.
Rolando, who's your service provider right now? Which network are you on? Damn.
Brasura.
I'm on AT&T right now. 800 down and 100 up.
We lost them.
Ping of 24.
Bro, you need to put your gateway in the freezer.
Hey, man, he got T-Mobile, man, but he got 4K, though. You can't hear him, but he got 4K, though.
The biggest enemy for T-Mobile's network is no network priority management. So when you just say, have at it, boys and girls, whoever eats the mostest gets the mostest. Whoever don't gets the leastest.
Yo, Rick, is it the skunk ape
Customers
mentality?
are all happy.
Yeah. The raccoons will be fighting over the dumpster food.
How's that working for him? Man, he laying off employees like crazy. Multiple rounds of layoffs, multiple security hacks. But you got 4K though. All right.
I do have to agree with Rolando on one point. He's labeling the whole Verizon thing as dead meat. I agree that there's certain parts of the country Verizon is dead meat where they haven't done upgrades yet. But where they have done upgrades, oh my God, like here, it's just amazing. I mean, once they add the backhaul to my site at my house, I'm gonna get probably 1 to 2 gigs down. I'm getting 800 indoors at almost 3 miles away. It's crazy.
I tell you.
Oh yeah, we got you. Go ahead.
Welcome back.
Not bad, because I had the YouTube playing on the background because I can hear myself talking on the same connection. Now I fixed it.
Oh, gotcha.
Well,
why is Verizon dead meat, bro?
Yeah, tell us about.
I'm just kidding. Oh,
okay. All right.
I mean, I'm not saying they're dead meat, basically. But at my house, I get C-band. I get 100 megahertz of spectrum. LTE.
Oh, has that improved your?
Well, apparently, technically at my house, no. But we're in downtown, yes. But at my house, I get like zero signal on C-band.
Is it DC where you getting the 100? See, that has a factor too. Is that N77 on the same tower as the LTE, or is it like 3 or 4 miles away?
Oh, well, apparently, I hate to say this, in my area in Hearn is Verizon, like C-band. It's good where I'm actually at, but it's not all over across the entire city. Unlike T-Mobile, they have standalone 5G, and I get N25, N71, and N41 all combined together. And I tested, and I get like the same exact speed like on Verizon.
Yeah, it's just going to take time. Once they get every single site done with the full spectrum on N77, it's going to be huge. It's going to be amazing.
I tell you what, B, when they have that 200 megahertz in the rural, you can give me 4K, but you can let everybody else have the 1080. Okay.
There's Rolando,
capacity to go around.
Rolando, can I ask you something?
Get 5G Home Plus, man. Problem solved.
Rolando, can I ask you something about home internet? No? We lost
Rolando,
him.
you still there, bro?
Ah, man.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a question in the comments. Sneed, do you think the N48 N77 radio will be a game changer?
I'm losing signal to you guys or what?
Yeah,
Yes.
you're back.
Yeah.
You're back.
Sometimes. I mean, I don't know about Verizon's home internet, even though I'm paying the same rate when I'm paying for my fiber.
Oh, fiber is going to be better. Verizon Home Internet's basically for somebody that can't get fiber. They're stuck on stupid Comcast crap cable, like me.
I get
Exactly.
the Verizon home internet. I get
Maybe
that, man. I mean,
Rex
I'll
will.
try it myself, but I don't think. I mean, I might get like about 400 down, possibly, in more at my house since I do have C-band on Verizon. Even though I'm actually be able to get it, but I don't know if it's
Well,
if
Verizon
it's
Home
worth
Internet's
doing it or
capped
not.
too. It's speed capped at 300 down and 20 up.
No, I'm gonna get
So-
the expensive plan.
They are you in a null sector?
I don't know.
Who?
I
I
was
haven't
asking
really paid attention to
Rolando.
Oh,
I didn't really look at the tower on Verizon because like the only downside basically on the C-band here is actually the coverage, and that's not really densified as of yet. But
yeah,
to
they
be
just
honest,
haven't
the
got everything
speed's pretty
upgraded
good.
yet. Yeah.
I gotcha. All right.
Well, Verizon's plan is to go around and add N77 to any site that's congested first. So if you have 10 towers in a city, okay, the one that's going to get N77 first is going to be the one that's congested. So if there's 3 towers that are congested, they're going to upgrade those 3, and then they're going to move on to the next city. But they're going to come back eventually, and every one of them is going to get upgraded.
Yo,
So
Ricky, we
and
got to
they're doing
address
the
this
DC
comment.
thing. Yeah. Go ahead with the
gotta-
comment.
Yeah, we got to address this comment. Yo, Rob, I'll be honest with you, bro. T-Mobile Home Internet is the GOAT, and Verizon Fios is meh.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh,
Verizon
my God.
Fios is cool if you got no other options, but the T-Mobile Home Internet is the GOAT.
That's blasphemy.
Blasphemy. I think
Nah,
the
man,
best fiber
so
out there is
mad,
AT&T. I've never used it, but from what I've heard
No,
from
man,
everybody,
I hear that Fios, man, the NPS scores, the performance, the price that people pay for it, they love that service. Between them and AT&T Fiber, they seem to be the top 2.
mm-hmm.
Can't be a
You want to
fiber.
hear something sad, SMT?
What's sad?
What's sad is my landlord sold a house, and I gotta move out because the new
What are your
owner doesn't.
plans?
He's gonna remodel the whole place, so he's gonna completely take the house himself. So I'm losing my place. There's no other place to rent because it's so expensive here. And guess what I just seen down the street from me?
Let me get my
AT&T fiber trucks splicing fiber together. So AT&T fiber was almost here, and then I'm leaving. That is just so depressing, man.
I have,
I almost got to try AT&T fiber, but guess what? If I go to Vegas, I think I can use fiber down there. So,
All right, we got a question from Baby Yodler. He said, "Does Verizon
Yodler.
new home internet plans affect existing users or just new?" I think it's just the new. If you signed up before August 23rd, all your terms and stuff stays the same during your 2 or 3 year price lock.
I still want to research this, man. I still want to find out, get some more information if it's actually a actual speed cap on the new structure of 320, or is that just the normal expectation? I don't know. I want to get more. I'm going to research it myself and try to find out.
I don't think the
I like-
speeds are a big deal. I think they're perfectly suitable. I don't think people are going to be begging for more. I think there's enough
No, I don't
throughput
think so.
there.
Yeah, I agree with that. I just want to know.
Yeah,
I
don't
just
forget
want to
Johnny's
understand
question,
exactly what this is.
SMT.
Why don't we just have Carlos buy another box, bro? He seems to already have 17 of them. He can get another one.
Hell yeah.
Get one of the newer, home internet terms.
From who?
Verizon.
Yeah, SMT. Can we answer Johnny Blaze's question?
Yeah, let's do Johnny Blaze.
It's already coming in the mail. It'll be here on Tuesday.
I wonder if we'll
Nice,
see
Carlos.
N46. Why do we want to see that?
N46 is trash. It's not even worth talking about.
Sorry, dude.
Bro, I'd rather have a really good Wi-Fi system than
Well,
N46.
46 is Wi-Fi, basically. It's just it's LTE Wi-Fi, basically.
Yeah, but Wi-Fi
But-
can get some better frequencies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and
I
46
mean, it has its place.
is limited. It's limited to 20 megahertz channel, which is equal to 2.4 gigahertz old Wi-Fi technology. It's the same stuff. It's just a LT version of it. It has its place for indoor, but DASs are way much better choice than 46.
Yeah, agreed.
But Johnny's question.
You can put N46 in a DAS. You can put it on a small cell.
Well, there is no N46. Nobody's certified that band for maybe in other countries, but not in USA. There is no N46. There's N48, but it has limitations.
That's true.
Low power, no massive MIMO.
That's very true.
And bandwidth's only 50 megahertz versus 100 megahertz channel like the rest of them. But Johnny Blaze says, Sneed, do you think the N48, N77 radio will be a game changer?
I do because I think it's going to be a small cell solution that is going to really offer some good capacity in situations where the macros aren't enough. Yeah, go ahead, Rolando.
Right now I'm using the S22 Ultra, which is I'm using C-band Verizon, which is a trial. And I think the issue with Verizon in my area sometimes, at my house I get it, and sometimes it cuts off because I have to have my phone at a certain angle where I can pick it up.
Yeah, that was a common problem in that phone. And the thermal throttling too was bad. The 22. 23 has huge improvements on all that stuff.
Well, yeah, I can't afford it.
That modem is amazing.
I'm stuck with the S22, so I can't afford it.
Yeah. Right.
No.
One good thing is you could trade in the 22 for a 24 when it comes out in February, which you should be able to get a huge bump. And your performance is really going to go through the rooftop.
True, but I'm actually
then your dead meat Verizon will come in stronger.
Hey guys, is anybody else seeing this? Rob says Verizon and T-Mobile are building out the 5G networks here. AT&T letting permits expire, doing all those types of things. Anybody else seeing that sort of stuff from AT&T?
Yep.
Los predicted it, so.
Yep, he did.
A lot of the DoD panels that were supposed to go up, they never went up. The permits expired.
Los, we can't hear you, man.
Can't hear me.
Let me boost his
low.
audio.
That's all.
I'll boost his audio. I got you, Los.
He talks softly and carries a big stick.
Straight up.
No, sorry. I literally took a nap out here, and then I was just literally taking a 30-minute nap right now.
I boosted his audio to 200. That's the max I can do.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me? Is it better?
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad, dude. I just woke up from a nap.
Oh, there you go.
I literally fell asleep right here on the porch, dude, in the couch.
A happy nap will make you happy.
Well,
Yo, Rolando, get on the Brazzers fiber. Come on, dog.
Why is that?
But
bro, you keep popping in and out, bro.
What do you expect me to do? It's the connection of the network. It's losing signal because at night it slows down for some reason on fiber. I'm not sure why they're doing this. Yeah. About like 300 megs per second paying a gigabit.
Sneed is Prosura fiber.
Oh, you ain't
No, that's just the way they run their system. I don't control over it.
Yeah.
I would make phone calls.
I don't know. They have the equipment mounted in my house in the heat. Do you think that's bad for the fiber performance?
You talking about your gear as in like your router and modem and stuff?
No, well, the fiber equipment is outside the house.
No, man. You're
talking about ONT, bro?
Yeah, you're just talking about fiber cables, right?
No, the actual equipment they put in. They're using Ubiquity. That's what they're using.
Oh, I see what Johnny's saying. NRU, he's talking about the unlicensed spectrum. So there's a whole bunch of different bands that'll be unlicensed. But I think the focus so far, they've been trying to emphasize the millimeter wave stuff. They've been trying to push the...
Yeah.
Was it like...
Well, in USA, band 46 is limited to 20 megahertz channels. So you can't make it you could make it a 20 megahertz 5G channel like fake 5G. You could do that, but you're not going to get any benefit from it. and it's low power. You don't have no massive MIMO. You don't have anything. So putting a letter N on the front of something that's not capable of doing it is kind of a waste of time.
Oh snap! We got EM Tech in the house.
I'm
Uh-oh.
back. What's up?
We back.
Back again.
What's the topic of
I
conversation?
don't know, bro. We were just talking about Brazzers fiber and
Brussels.
how it's just horrible.
Oh boy. Oh, you're opening that can of worms again? Come on now.
Bro, he just came in here like 3, 4, 5 times. He keeps getting kicked out. You know Rolando, right?
Yeah, I remember the Twitter Spaces, bro.
Yeah. Exactly.
No, I wanted to mention that this up to 100 megahertz plus has been very, very good in my experience. I'm seeing massive improvements. It's crazy.
Yeah, and they turn up the power too, which is making beamforming better. I just can't wait till the SRS and uplink booster gets deployed. Once that gets done, God, it's going to be amazing.
I hope one day that N77 can be as good as N41. I really do.
Yeah.
It's already better. It's already better, bro.
No. Listen, bro. N41 is the ultimate. All right. Everything else is just,
SMT. Did you fall down and knock your head? You fell down and hit your head on the table.
Hey, listen, all right. N41 is the ultimate. Neville told us everything we needed to know. All right.
You cannot
Neville,
Neville
the Pebble. You gonna listen to the Pebble?
Yes, the Pebble is the truth. The Pebble is
minus 100 at 0.3 miles. That's really great. Yeah, congratulations.
You can't do that to B tonight. He didn't bring his blood pressure.
I moved the Wi-Fi connection.
Bro, listen. N41 is the ultimate, man. You know the only real issue that I can see in my market, because I can't speak to everybody's, it's all different. The towers, like every sector is different. Every tower is different. Like not all the sites have massive MIMO radio gear. And
that is true.
Very few sites have 10 gig fiber. So we don't even really know what T-Mobile's capable of doing to scale yet.
And a lot of the sites don't have multiple user massive MIMO, which is very important for beamforming.
Level, right? So like, we're not seeing that here. And that's why when I look at the performance, it's no different than what I'm seeing, from anything AT&T and Verizon are doing. Now, the one thing I will say, and I think EM is seeing this too, we see a big advantage on N77 to uplink. Like we're seeing really, really good speeds, even at some distance. You know what I mean?
And it's going to get better when SRS and uplink booster gets the software update comes on Ericsson panels.
Ah, man, I'm jealous, bro. I don't got Ericsson. I got Sammy, bro.
Sammys are performing really well on Edge, though, compared to Ericsson.
Really?
Yeah.
From what I've been hearing, yeah. Even when I was out in Virginia and testing it, it was the same. Edge was way better on Samsung.
Nice.
How's your equipment holding up to that heat wave up there? I was wondering.
Oh, I didn't have any issues with my service. I mean, the AT&T site at my office has been down for the last 3 days, but that's unrelated. But other than that, I mean, we were fine.
The only issue with the Samsung gear is the fact that we can't get all the spectrum on air. That's really the only issue.
Yeah, that's more on the vendor than it is Verizon, though.
Right. But, I mean, that's the vendor you chose, right?
Yeah. I hate to slightly pivot, but I know a bunch of handsets are going to be coming out the next few months. What are you getting,
bro?
I don't know yet. There's so many. But I just wonder what kind of support do we think we're going to see on the handsets? Because if you don't have the support on the handsets, it don't really matter what you got on the tower, right?
Well, I mean,
what do you
like an iPhone? I'm thinking iPhone, Pixels. Samsung already came out. I'm thinking more iPhone Pixel because I know they come out about this time of year.
iPhone will have X70, so X70 will get you the 2 carrier NR for N77. Pixel already supports it if you have Android 14 beta, so you can expect a similar thing.
What about the X75 modem in the 24? What about that?
Well, that's what I'm waiting for, Ricky. I'm waiting for that. I'm hanging on to my 22 until that comes out.
Me too.
I can't wait to get
24.
But the thing I think we can expect from, or what I hope we expect from the iPhone is the similar, I forget what it is, the special uplink configuration that the Pixel modems have, because that was initially seeing some really impressive results for uplink on T-Mobile. I'm hoping that they integrate that into the iPhones and we can start seeing that on all the carriers. But at minimum, you'll get full access to C-band this year for sure.
Sounds good.
Is Rolando back?
I have no idea.
And that fiber got problems, dog.
Is his
Wonder if
network
the-
back?
Wonder if the Pixel do the Pixels already support this, the DoD and the well, since Ricky's here, I'm gonna say C-band just to piss him off.
Yes, I'm back.
I'd have to ask Josh. Josh will know. I don't know the answer to that.
Okay.
You hear what I said?
What'd you say, dog?
No, we can't hear
I
you.
said I'm
Bro.
back. It's
Oh,
just,
what up, man?
It just the fiber has been having issues lately. For some reason, I'm down to 20 megabits per second.
Huh?
Yeah, we definitely aren't getting a steady connection for Rolando.
Well, nothing I can do about it.
Don't you have cellular?
Yeah, I might switch it over.
Yeah, give that a shot, man.
Yeah, I think my fibers have been. It's just pretty much during that night. You know, it slows it down during the day. Get a gigabit. It's just the way they run this network. I don't control this mess.
Yo, Vince asking if anyone's heard of Helium Mobile.
Oh goodness.
Have some helium.
Yeah, so you get if you're in the Miami market, you can get 30 gigs of Helium data, which is CBRS hotspots, and you can have 30 gigs of the T-Mobile network. $5. You get $5 worth of chicken.
Trash.
100 gigs of helium. I
And-
breathe until I die.
But you don't get no
Trash.
side items. You don't get any drink. You don't get nothing. Just the
Yo,
chicken.
B, hold on a second, bro. $5 gets you on the best 5G network in America.
Sneed, stop it right now.
Hey. I'm just going off the commercials, all right?
All right.
Straight.
The TV never lies.
I bet you buy that miracle water that they talk about on those infomercials at 3 in the morning, right?
Halle Berry or Hallelujah. Either one, bro.
Just like they have billboards up here everywhere on the highway saying T-Mobile covers with the most 5G in southern Utah. You're right.
Oh yeah, the ones that on the highway. We cover so much percentage of that highway or something.
You're right.
Yo, Troy, he said, is AT&T offering 10 gig in my area yet? Man, you know what? Let me check, bro. Let me see if they made that transition. I know they were doing multi-gig, but I don't know if it was capped at 2 or 5. So let's check it out. I'm going to check out my address. Check the availability. By the way, AT&T has been converting all these Cox Communications customers like crazy. I see the trucks literally every day, hooking people up. So, and in usual Rolando fashion, Rolando is back. Hey, bro.
Okay, now I'm mobile network right now.
Oh, good. Okay.
Oh,
All right.
whoa, which one?
The Verizon
Okay. You should be all right.
on C-band. Oh yeah, I forgot about. Besides that, also I have simple mobile. Not simple.
Mint Mobile.
SafeLink through Verizon, and I have full access to C-band as well.
Yeah,
And I get pretty much exact same speeds as the actual Verizon C-band itself. Well, I think in a few days, like I guess when the summer is kind of over, even though it's really bleeding hot in Texas, I'll probably do some more C-band tests on the Verizon and see how it's progressed. I'll let you guys know.
Hey,
Cool, man.
Rolando, did you take advantage of the deflation promo? Man, he's gone again.
Nope, well, it's gone again.
I think he's gone again.
Yeah, this is not working, Rolando.
That's Verizon, bro. That's not supposed to happen.
Well, he got.
Oh, you know why? Because I had to leave my phone on and use the mic.
He's back.
That's stupid.
All right, Troy. They only offer up to a gig at on my street, so yeah, no multi-gig apparently.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Now the dumbest shit I ever heard is you trying to get your network cooking, bro.
Or have my network bleed.
Yeah, it's bleeding out. It's hemorrhaging, dog.
Bro.
Okay, now we're back again. We're good.
Bro,
All
you need to call Brasura on Monday, bro.
Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna do more testing on the C-band Verizon in my area and see where to go from here and there.
Bro, why you want to mess with Verizon, bro? That shit is trash, bro. Stay on T-Mobile, dog.
Verizon ain't trash in my area. I mean, at least they got C-band, but only in one part of the area.
Bro, Verizon is weak sauce, bro. Stay away. Go with T-Mobile, man. That's
I already
the real
have
G.
T-Mobile.
You're just trying to get everybody off the network, so
dude. First one, I'm not gonna sit there and say to basically stick with one company. I'd rather buy both companies instead of one. I have Verizon and T-Mobile. I have both.
Yeah, but Verizon ain't goated like T-Mobile, dog.
It's golden.
Hey, Sneed, do you want to fight Sneed?
You guys said yourself about the C-band deployment, and you know you're right. I mean, it's gonna beat T-Mobile in these games, and a lot of people telling me no, they're not.
Did you
Bro, T-Mobile is the ultimate, man.
They're not the ultimate. That's what you think. You people saying that T-Mobile is going to be dead, pretty much dead in water because Verizon is going to beat them in the speed test.
I didn't say that, bro.
You
did.
B right now.
Yo, Sneed, Sneed.
Anyway.
Sneed, square up, Sneed, square up, Sneed, square up, yo.
Put up your dukes, bro.
Put up, Sneed, square up, yo. Because I'm tired, Sneed. Square up, yo.
Better watch it. Sneed's got that Peruvian necktie, bro. You better watch out.
Yeah, bro. I'm about to crank that neck, dog.
You don't even know about hashtag Save the Bear.
Oh my God!
If I switch to Verizon basically and get an S24 Ultra, I'd probably pay the same rate what I'm paying T-Mobile.
Bro, listen. Here's what you do: you get yourself a Samsung Galaxy S21. You get the N41, gold standard 5G, right? You pay $100 for that next upgrade plan, and you'd be cool, bro. You'd be chilling.
Yep. I wouldn't even pay for the
Rolando.
T-Mobile 5G Plus, whatever
Rolando,
that plan
you need
calls.
You need to take the sage advice SMT just gave you, bro.
I still have the old plan ever since about 6 years ago already.
Bro, listen, the words are spoken like sages over here. We're giving you the word, bro.
Nah, you're not giving nothing.
Thank you.
Damn. This one from S Blue Tech, supporter of the channel, friend of the channel, member. Thank you for the super chat. He said, it's been a week since I switched from T-Mobile Business to Verizon Business Unlimited Pro. The experience is much better, more stable, especially on Google Meet for work, on device, and hotspot. Listen, man, I'm really happy that you got a more stable network experience. That's probably the most important thing to most people. And I'm just glad that you got what you needed, man, because if you're on a business account, your network access, one could argue is even, more important to kind of what you're doing for your livelihood. So, we oftentimes are just playing on our phones and stuff like that, but you're doing big things. So I'm just glad you got what you need,
Hooray, let's go for orange.
Unfortunately, it couldn't have been the GOAT in 5G. Wasn't able to provide it, That's unfortunate.
I'm glad I didn't switch that plan.
Johnny Blaze, I don't know, man. I don't know. I see him on Twitter sometimes. I don't know.
It's been
Yeah,
a
he fell
while.
off, man. I don't know what happened. He fell off, yo.
I'm glad I didn't switch to T-Mobile. That 5G plus thing, whatever it is.
Bro,
There you
listen, that
go.
is the GOAT plan, dog.
Of course, it's a gold plans, yeah, because it's unlimited data. Which
$100,
honestly,
dog.
I don't even care about it.
Think about what you're getting. You're getting 5G, America's best 5G network. You're getting Tuesday gifts. You know,
I already have that.
You're
you're
getting.
getting
You're actually really
You're
getting
getting
more
hacked.
chicken.
All right, well, here's the thing. What I'm getting better
No,
than that plan, what
no,
I've been
he
having
is.
for
No,
6 years.
B. He is literally
Unlimited
getting.
5G, unlimited
He's
5G,
literally
4G
Rolando.
LTE in Mexico and Canada, and unlimited hotspot.
Rolando,
See,
you are
even
blessed.
T-Mobile took away for that particular plan because nobody even uses it at all. That's what
Rolando,
I've been hearing now.
you're so blessed because you actually really are getting more chicken from Popeyes.
No,
Man, you
I don't
getting
even eat
hacked.
Popeyes.
That's what you getting. Your data is on
Hey.
the dark web.
hey,
But
I
he
don't
gets
care about
chicken.
that neither.
He gets more chicken, B.
I don't even care
Getting
about my data
hacked.
getting hacked anyway. I already
yo,
restored my
question for
credit
you.
anyway. So
Question for you,
what they
Rolando.
gonna take from me?
How
Nothing.
much chicken can you eat, bro?
How much chicken I can eat?
Yeah, like how many
Yeah.
gigs of data can you use a month? How much chicken
mu-
can you eat?
How much pollo,
Or at
bro?
least a terabyte or two.
Damn.
Whew, that's a lot of chicken.
At least a terabyte or two.
Wait,
So
what they
Yeah, I
listen,
wonder
do?
why.
Wait,
Verizon's going with that 1080p.
what kind of chicken you watching?
Well, first
bro?
of all, it's their business. They can do what they want anyway. It's their business. Even though they got money, they can do what they want.
I
Yo,
agree with him,
Rolando.
though. I agree with you.
Yo, Rolando, Vinny just leveled up, bro. He got 3 providers on one phone, his iPhone. He's got Helium, Verizon, and Cricket. He got all of the access, bro.
He's got all the smoke, bro. You gotta step
Yeah,
up.
but what's cricket give you anyway? Really?
Bro, Cricket, man, come
I
on,
haven't
bro.
seen. I haven't seen none.
Bro,
I haven't
you
seen
can-
any progress with AT&T. Or even
Bro, you
would go with
can-
AT&T, but it's gonna suck in my
Rolando,
area.
Cricket has the best churn rates in the prepaid industry, dog.
and you can pay 3 months in advance. There you go.
Damn.
If I would have went to Verizon and T-Mobile, I'll be spending $200 a month for their service.
Bro, you don't need Verizon. Stop playing, bro. Just get the GOAT in 5G. You be cool, bro.
Bro,
Sneed. Dog, you really want to fight, man. Like, you really do want to fight.
Bro, I'm trying to
really
help
do.
people, man. You're standing in the way
No,
of
you're not.
progress.
You're trying to fight. That's what you want. You want to fight.
You're standing in the way of
You wanna
progress.
fight.
I'm trying to help him out, bro.
No, you're
I
not.
don't need help.
You're trying to get him
Rolando.
hacked. That's what you're trying to do.
Rolando, you know I got your best interests at heart. You know that.
Nah, he's trying to get you hacked,
I
bro.
don't know if you do. I don't know if you do or not.
Oh, come on, man.
He's trying
Really?
to get you. He's trying to get you hacked, my guy.
Bruh.
He's trying to get
Look,
you
we know
hacked.
Verizon.
Trying to get you hacked.
We know Verizon is a good network, the best network. I get that, but
Bro,
do you
listen.
think some
The
people can
Verizon
afford
network
it?
is cool. There's nothing wrong with it. But the GOAT in 5G is T-Mobile, dog.
It's not, man. Stop it,
Not
Steve.
really.
This is
Not
such
really.
horrible advice.
You're physically hurting. Can you not hear it in his voice?
Bro, B's problem is he's delusional, you know? He's delusional.
I am not delusional.
I'm
If
trying
I
to
was
enlighten it.
if I
Listen,
was
bro.
delusional, because I know about networking.
Listen.
No, he's talking about B, bro.
Dennis has proven it. T-Mobile's the GOAT in PA, right?
Oh God.
You know,
Oh my
Dennis
God.
has proven it that AT&T is the GOAT in Pittsburgh.
They
You
don't
know,
win.
we already know what time it is, bro.
They don't win.
I don't
Verizon
understand
definitely
where they
won
got this
Pittsburgh.
stupid goat term, because a goat is a ugly, stinky, nasty animal. So why would you?
Ricky,
All right, so if you're going to say that, I'm going to say my S23
No.
Note is sexy. That's what I'm going to say. If you're
Bro,
going to call
that is
Ricky,
that
terrible.
goat, I'm going to call
Ricky.
my phone sexy.
Bro,
Ricky,
you're
you've
literally
been-
the worst.
Ricky, you've been
Yo,
in
Rick
assisted
just went
living
off,
too long,
man.
bro.
Rick just went in on all of us, man. Like, stop
All right,
using goat.
so-
He's the ugly animal.
Ricky, I know you've been in the nursing home for a long time, but GOAT means greatest of all time.
So can I ask a question,
Oh, my
yo?
God.
So Rick and Sneed, I may be wrong. Yo, Rick, what happened with you and Dennis, man? Why y'all be going at it?
Are you
Because
serious?
they don't like each other. That's what it is.
He's Dennis. Wait,
You're going to ask that question on Sneed
hold on.
Live?
Oh,
That's not good.
No, Rick,
No,
hold
not
on. I got
good.
it. I got
I'm
this
not
for a
gonna
second.
I'm not gonna
B,
answer. I'm gonna plead the
what
fifth because I
B, what you
respect
don't
SMT.
B, what you don't
Okay, I
understand
mean,
is that
I
what you
don't know. I
don't
didn't know
under,
what was going on.
If you
but
want to go into
what you-
Google Meets, I'll vomit all over you.
no, B, what you don't understand is that Dennis is Ricky's long lost child.
I mean, he seems like a pretty good guy, man. I didn't know. I thought he was. I mean, I don't know.
All right, girls, I'm gonna head out.
All
Definitely
right,
not
Rolando,
pretty.
be cool, bro. Keep
Definitely
that
not
T-Mobile
good.
line going, dog.
All right, girls, later.
Late.
Later.
Later, alligator.
Bye.
Enjoy your brassura.
Oh my god.
Yo, Rolando got
Crazy.
some connection issues. Even with fiber, he got all types of problems.
Wow,
He's
that's
had
you
those
never know. It might
connection
be a,
issues for like 4
router.
years.
It might be a router
This
issue too.
man,
Yeah.
this man, Vinny said he got helium. God, hey.
I mean, you could have the best internet in the world, but if you plug it
See,
into
you
a
heard me?
router that's having some kind of issues,
Hey, Sneed.
Did you hear me, Sneed? Oh, my bad. I thought I was
Yeah, I
muted. My
heard.
bad.
Yeah, I heard you, bro.
Sneed.
This man said he got helium. God, hey. What's up,
Hey,
yo?
Sneed.
helium's trash.
Yeah. Hey, Sneed, can I address the SMT Nation real quick about something?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Hey, SMT Nation, I wanted to thank you guys. I kind of got to make an announcement that you probably won't see much of Blind V for the foreseeable future. I had a recent medical diagnosis that's gonna kind of take me out of commission for a while, and I want to reach out to the SMT Nation and thank you guys for always being hospitable and putting up with my corny jokes and my appearances on Sneed's Lives. But Sneed's always been gracious to me. I'm gonna have to set aside my sword in the Sneed army and pick up the sword in my real life and take on some battles that I need to fight right now. And I just
We're
ask for
praying
all
for you for
y'all.
your battles.
Yeah, thank you, bro. And
Yeah,
I
wish you
just
the
ask them
best,
for
man.
all your thoughts and prayers out there.
Yeah, we're hoping for the best for you, man.
I'll make it back, but I'll be quiet for a while. So just somebody's got to tell him shackles on his feet every so often.
Yeah, some.
But thank you,
Thanks,
Sneed.
Jay. Thank you, man. And we're hoping that everything works out well for you, and you stay healthy and well, and we're ready for you when you get back, man.
All right, thank you, man.
Appreciate you. All right, guys. Anything else for the show, man? It was a long one, man. We're at like 3 hours, dog.
Long live T-Mobile!
I got something. If you want to talk trash about T-Mobile, I did.
No, we're not talking trash about T-Mobile. Do not do that.
Okay, so T-Mobile and Dish.
You have got to stop.
And 800 megahertz. They're telling the court to reject Dish's extension.
Right.
I just read that.
Yeah.
I think Dish buying low band fake 5G with that price tag is stupid. Completely stupid. They should spend that money on putting the 3 gigahertz panels up there for their 3.45 that they get one, or N77 they won.
Well, I think there's
that's better money spent.
I think there's
than
some
a
IoT
worthless
providers.
Spectrum.
Yeah, I think there's some IoT providers that want that spectrum. So
yeah, let them have it. They can have it.
Yeah. T-Mobile wants that money now, not 10 months from now.
Yeah, well, T-Mobile's broke.
I can't blame them. I'm sure they would have some application for that money. They could use it to
broke B. Yeah, that's right. PA Tech.
I mean, it's their fault. They're the ones that are responsible for this whole Dish network mess. I mean,
what
their
you mean,
company,
bro? T-Mobile came in and shook up the industry, dog.
No,
yeah, they shook up. By shook up, you mean lied. Yeah, they lied. Said they were going to do some stuff, and they didn't do half of what they said they were going to do.
What do you mean? They said that they were going to build the nation's best 5G network. They did that.
They did.
They said they were going to offer.
No, they didn't.
They said they were going to offer 4K video streaming on their home internet. They did that.
This is just T-Mobile
with no QoS and no QCI.
Yeah, exactly. Priority to the speed test. Priority to the speed test.
Right.
Do a speed test. Oh, let's dump all the data to that phone.
So
Meanwhile,
T-Mobile's
everybody
gonna
else
help.
can't use it.
So T-Mobile's
Multiple
gonna help
rounds of
dish.
layoffs.
So
T-Mobile
T-Mobile's gonna
tried.
help dish with hint. T-Mobile's gonna help dish with hints that they were gonna not they're not gonna turn off their CDMA network, and now they're just
The number one thing in the future that's going to make
trust
Dish
T-Mobile.
amazing is going to be when they get the GigaMIMO technology released, and then they use that 600 megahertz nationwide millimeter wave, and they put it on every site that they have. That's going to be amazing.
Well, you really got it for that GigaMIMO, don't you?
Yes, I did a whole live stream. I showed you guys why it's going to be very important.
Yo,
and
Ricky,
how
are we expecting any live streams in the future? Have you given that some considerations?
well, yeah, there's always a consideration. It's just right now, it's just I'm working a lot, so I really don't have. I only have 2 days off, and then now I'm losing my place to live, so I'm looking for a place to live and a new job because I got to leave the area here. But I'm still working on some local stuff here, but it's just the housing market's horrible here. You know, they want $2,000 for a apartment the size of your refrigerator, and Ricky can't handle that. You know, because I'm too big, I won't fit in there.
I love Ricky's live streams. They really helped me with my insomnia the past few
But yeah, I do want to start them back again. So if I can get like on a normal job where I will like work during the daytime, you know, Monday through Friday. So if I get a real day job and then I'm off every evening, then yeah, when you guys are not doing your live streams, I can sneak one in, or you know. And that's another thing is I don't want to compete against other people's live streams either. So, and my only chance to do them is either Tuesday or Wednesday night, but I'm pretty busy on that too because I'm doing my DoD Army Mars training as well. So I'm going through that training for the communications. So, and there's nets every evening. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff I got going on right now. So, but I plan to try to do something in the future.
Are you going to diversify? Are you
What?
just going to stay? Are you going to do tech? Or are you going to diversify to like amateur
Oh,
radio?
oh, okay, yeah.
Weather,
Well, I mean, I
like
do
storm
have a
chasing?
channel on amateur radio, but the bad thing is there's so many thousands of channels already out there. You know, so
Yeah.
I mean, sure, you could put another channel out there, but you know, it's just so many other channels, and the same with tech. There's so many big YouTubers like SMT out there. You know, it's really hard to get
Yeah,
in
you
there
just
and
got
mix along. You know,
just
but
got to go to your green traction.
but yeah, I do miss doing the live streams, and I do hope to do some in the future for sure. Oh, I just got the alert. SpaceX is launching the Crew 7. So the astronauts are getting ready to take off from Cape Canaveral. And there's stars in the sky. So guess what? I might be able to see the launch from Cape Canaveral from here at work. Just go out on the beach, look over the ocean. I'll be watching the astronauts go back up. And then there's a SpaceX launch going up in the morning too, like 3:45 a.m. over here too. So there's 2 launches in one night. So pretty cool.
All right. Don't get too close to the ocean. You don't want to scare your nurse again.
Oh no. Yeah, I wouldn't want to get ate by the sharks in there. There's some huge sharks in the water and a crocodile.
You know what we're gonna do?
Uh-oh.
We're gonna do something a little bit different. I don't typically do this, but I think we should do some comic relief, man.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
You know, just to kind of end the show with a giggle or a schniggle, you know?
Oh no.
Schniggle.
What do you guys think about a giggle or a schniggle?
I like schniggles, bro.
Okay.
All right.
As long as your schniggle don't wiggle, we all go.
Oh no. Wow.
All right, so I'm gonna put some images up here, and then I'm gonna give you 2 options.
Uh-oh.
And you guys can vote 1 or 2.
Or neither.
And no, you gotta vote 1 or 2. Stop being a dick, Ricky. You gotta vote. Don't be difficult. Come on, bro.
Now, Sneed, are you gonna describe these?
Is this your record live stream? You've been live for 3 hours. This is a record for you. Man.
No, bro. We've done more than this, bro. You know that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know that.
Not
We've
very
had
often.
some epic streams.
It's like once in a blue moon. Speaking of blue moons, there's blue moon this month.
All right, guys. Here is what we're doing right now. Up on the screen. Vote 1 or 2. Vote 1 for would you rather date a woman who is a 10 in the face but with flat cakes? Or 2, a woman who is a 7 in the face with lots of cakes, but
I
her
don't
feet
know.
looks like hammer toes all over the place.
Those look like
Ugh.
beanie chicks there, beanie dates
Oh.
there.
All right, so you got your choice.
Don't be a pickle, Ricky.
I think I'll let Beanie have both of them.
Oh my
And
god.
by the way, this is courtesy of I don't even know whose Twitter account this is, bro. I don't even
Beanie,
know.
Beanie.
I think this is Septian, bro. Big
Oh
Sep.
man, it's good to be blind.
All right, so what's it gonna be, bro?
Oh my god.
10 in the face with flat cakes, or 7 in the face with lots of cakes, but feet are jacked up, bro. Look like she's been working construction for 200 years.
I'm doing
my
option
God.
2. She just gonna have to, all she gotta do put some socks on, be good. But I need them cakes, man. I'm gonna go on option 2.
Just put some cocoa butter and I'll be all right.
On the cake,
Nah,
on
man,
the
put some
cakes or
socks
on the toes, bro.
Put some socks on them Vienna sausages, man. She just gotta have socks on all the time. We good.
Oh man. All right. I don't know. It's
But the
mixed,
joint
bro.
on
We gotta
the joint on the right is all legs. God, dog.
Bro, I'm gonna have to go with a 10 in the face because on that number 2, if I see those feet, it's over. I'm done. I'm walking away.
Man, y'all are tripping.
You gotta have that
when
pretty
you guys
face.
hang out, you just gotta make sure that she's wearing shoes, bro.
Put some socks on. She good.
But
Cover them
bro,
joints up.
but once you see them, you cannot unsee them. It don't matter if you put shoes on.
Bro, what happened to those feet, dog? Damn.
I don't know.
Calling Peter on them feet. God, dog.
It's called high heels too long,
Oh my god.
and all that weight pushing in on them toes.
No, those are flip flop feet, bro.
Like
Those are
everybody
nasty
knows.
flip-flop.
I think she's a layer cake, and I think Neville the Pebble should be honored to take care of those layer cakes.
Man, it says a guy who hasn't had a date since 1992. Come on.
All right, guys. We're done with the live stream. Thank you all for hanging out. A little bit of comedy at the end and having some fun. Nobody was hurt in the making of those images, so nobody has to worry about anything.
Right.
Yeah,
And be careful out driving so you don't hit a skunk ape.
Yeah, hit me with your favorite hashtag. Hashtag skunk ape. That one's for Ricky.
Yeah. Yeah, dumb skunk.
Hashtag 2Live Crew. Hashtag Replay Crew.
Fake standalone.
Hashtag hammer toes. Hashtag cakes.
Voiceover NR.
Yeah.
Fake standalone.
Hashtag T-Mobile the GOAT.
Fake 5G.
Hashtag C-band.
Oh God.
Hashtag 1080p home internet. That's a good one.
Ugh, disgusting.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch my Netflix on 1080. Come on now.
You know what I'm saying? Come on, dog.
Hashtag 1080p blasphemy.
I know, man. Seriously.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, here's the big one. F the FCC.
Yeah,
Clown Commission.
Yes. Yeah. Everybody hit me with the clown emoji in the live chat for the FCC.
Yeah, I'm still banned on YouTube. I can't even post anything.
You've been banned on YouTube.
Yeah, they've been banning me for like 2 months now.
Yeah. How do you
say
get
I'm
unbanned?
They say I'm a cyberbully.
How do you get unbanned?
He's a political extremist, bro.
Can
I
we
believe
get
that,
you in
'cause
like
RF Tech is he's mean. He's a mean guy, man. So I believe that.
Can we get you like in rehab for like rehabilitate you on how to comment and stuff? Like, is there an education program that they do, like get you out of jail kind of deal?
But I really don't comment on YouTube that much. I comment more on Twitter.
They must have got.
So I don't know what happened on YouTube. The system just like grabbed me and said you're chat banned. So
did they?
I don't know.
Did they get a video of you throwing your bedpan at the nursing home? That could be bullying.
Maybe so. That's a possibility. Yeah.
All right, guys. I gotta go bake in the morning.
All
Y'all
right,
the best.
bake me something
Please-
good. Bake me something good.
Please like and share. Comment if you're on the replay side.
Bake me some
support us.
apple turnovers and send them
Yeah.
down. to me.
Sounds tasty. We could do that. Support us. There's lots of different ways to do it. You could become a patron. You could support us through YouTube memberships and get additional access and early access to videos, unique content. We're going to do a live stream tomorrow night on Patreon. So if you want to be a part of that, right, become a patron member or a YouTube member that supports and helps. And, YouTube's been rough lately, guys. So, what you can do to help out the SMT is greatly appreciated, man. There is absolutely cost to doing the things that I do on my channel.
I live streamed to Ohio and back, and I got $4 from YouTube.
Man, those hammer toes cost a lot of money, so you need to support Sneed.
Shackles on her feet. You owe me. We got this.
Yeah, I'm going to send you some lobsters, SMT. It's
right.
lobster season down here. I'm going to send you some lobster.
Hashtag lobster bisque. We out this piece.
Yeah.
Peace. Peace.